is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions, from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good afternoon, or I don't know, should we call it a good afternoon? I mean, if you're in the Dolphin Nation, it's one of those like I'm sitting there at Dolphins camp, right? And I'm watching the team, and I'm feeling good about what I'm watching. Tua looks good, the receivers. You know, I'm sitting next to Travis Wingfield, and we're going back and forth, and we're talking about what they could do with this offense, and you know, we're geeking out, talking football and all this crap. Got Kim Bokamper sitting in front of me, Joe Rose right next to me over there, and Kyle Krabs also was in our group and all that. And then, boom, the news drops. And it just, like, it hits you like a ton of bricks that you just see the news and you're like, you know, man, I thought we were out of this shit. I thought we were done with all these stupid things. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, we're not done because we have Stephen Ross. And, you know, Stephen Ross, with this, he really ended everything for himself as an owner. He always had some hope that you could turn it around and talk about him as a good owner. But, you know, unfortunately, this kind of puts the nail on the coffin, and it's over now. And it doesn't matter even if Chris Greer and company figure it out and they win, which I hope so for us, for our sake. But really, in the end, what this proves is that Stephen Ross has no business owning a professional sports team. Just because you have the money doesn't necessarily mean you know how to act. You know what I mean? And that's one of the problems with Stephen Ross. He means well. His heart is in the right place. He wants to win. I give him credit for that. Okay? And listen, he saves the tennis tournament. We've got to be grateful for that. He brings the F1 race. They have poured hundreds of millions of dollars into that stadium to make it much more comfortable, a better place to go. He hired a guy like Tom Garfinkel, who's done an amazing job. But unfortunately, the track record is the track record. It's celebrating the Gators when the Canes are your other, you know, your tenant. It's that stupid orange carpet with the, you know, celebrities, Serena and J-Lo and all that garbage that they did. I mean, it's beautiful to watch Serena and J-Lo and, you know, walking down the carpet and all that. Yes, they're gorgeous women and all that, but in the end, nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's one thing after another. It's going after Jim Harbaugh in the middle of the night when you have Sperano in place. There are countless amounts of things that he has done that are just plain stupid. Stephen Ross is really fortunate that he chose the path of real estate and being a billionaire, Because if he ever chose the path to be a thief or a criminal, he was going to suck at it because he was going to get busted every time. And listen, I can read you the whole thing about Stephen Ross saying, well, we were justified in this, but we deny the whole thing about tampering and this and that. Dude, you're a serial cheater. They busted you already. You already did it with Sperano. You're no different than the guy that's a criminal. You're no different than anybody else that constantly screws up, because Stephen Ross, eventually you will screw up because that's who you are. You're a total fuck up as an owner. Okay? Can we just say it? You're an absolute fuck up as an owner. And the other clown that's with him, Bruce Beal, he gets a longer suspension. You know why? Because he's the one that wanted Tom Brady. So, no, hey, Steven, I'm tight with Tom. Let's go. Let's try it. And Tom doesn't get suspended or done. You know why? Because we were just going on a boat. We had no idea we were meeting. We didn't know that they wanted to meet with us. We didn't know, so they acted stupid. That's all. That's what happened. I can already tell you. I don't even have to be asked or anything. I know exactly. Just like the whole thing. Think about this. Stephen Ross has no credibility whatsoever. Let's just get that. Let's just lay the facts down. I don't care what kind of a billionaire he is. I don't care how successful he is. I don't care that he owns the Dolphins and everything else. He has zero credibility. Zero. Okay? Just like Belichick, he is a constant cheater. He's a constant liar. So when you say you didn't tamper and you still disagree with the league about your tampering, dude, you went to go get Jim Harbaugh. You know what I'd rather respect? I screwed up. I did it. I was trying to help the Dolphins, and I was a little overzealous, and I apologize to the Dolphin Nation. But Stephen Ross, you're no better than Preston Williams, who I saw today on the podium, and we'll play the interview for you, who doesn't get it. Stephen Ross, you don't get it, my brother. You don't get it. You think that we're stupid. You think the world is stupid, like you. Just because you're a smart real estate guy, when it comes to sports, you're stupid. Okay? Somebody play this video for this man. Please. I mean, dude, get lost already. All right? Get lost. Sell the team. Go get a goddamn gold finder, metal finder, and go out to the beach and go search for metal like old people do. Get out of our face already, dude. You're just a billionaire, but you're a boneheaded billionaire, and you constantly do stupid ass things. Now you cost your team a first and a third round pick. You're a terrible owner. You're an effing clown, my man. You already have the ears for it. Stop. Go away, man. Dude, you never hear from Mickey Arison, ever. Viola Seafood, do you see them doing stupid shit like this? No. My God. And it's a constant thing with Stephen Ross. That's the problem with all of this. Since he took over, it's always something, dude. And that's why this organization has been what it's been, because of him. My God, dude, can you just let the football people do their job? Go away, dude. You're a billionaire. Just stay in your box. Don't talk to anybody. Don't open your mouth. You're a terrible speaker. You say stupid shit all the time, and you do stupid shit all the time. Enough already, dude. We've suffered enough as a fan base. We don't need this shit, dude. They've got a good front office now. These guys are planning for the future. They keep having extra picks and all that. Now you're killing your own front office. You idiot. How can you be so smart as a businessman and be so fucking stupid as a sports owner? Really, seriously, answer that question for me. Oh, I'll celebrate the Gators. I mean, my tenant, the Canes, they're not going to care. It's a Canes town. You know, a lot of your Dolphin fans are Canes fans. Yeah. It's just stupid shit after stupid shit after stupid shit. It's got to end already. And guess what? Now we're stuck with Bruce Beal, another dumbass. My God, this is what we have to look forward to? Another guy another billionaire that doesn't know what the hell he's doing when it comes to sports, except they know how to screw their own team. Welcome, Bruce. Welcome to the team, my brother. Way to go. You haven't even taken over, and you've cost your team a first and a third. Nice job, buddy. Way to go. You know what Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal need to do? They need to refund everybody on their season tickets this year. Just to say I'm sorry. That's what they need to do. Everybody that got it's sold out, right? It's sold out, right? So they made their commitment, right? You know what, folks? Because we screwed up, season ticket holders, it's on the house on us because we screwed up. That's what they should do. All your money comes from TV anyways. The tickets are just icing on the cake. I love it when fans say, oh, we pay their salary. Yeah, and TV pays their salary, buddy. You know, the tickets are just like a little icing on the cake. It's nothing. Why don't you refund everybody there? That's what you need to do. That would be nice. That would be a nice gesture. Way to go, Bruce Beal. Welcome to the team. Way to screw the team, buddy. It's just, these are things that drive my ass crazy. Now, I want you to think about this now, what's happened here. Okay? Now, I want you to think about it and think about it good, because most people won't tell you this. Okay? Well, most people wouldn't have said what I just said. Okay? Here's what I'm going to tell you, the worst part about all of this crap here. Okay? You look at this situation. Pay attention to me now. You look at what's gone on. Okay? I can tell you for a fact that Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie, and Chris Greer did not want Deshaun Watson and did not want Tom Brady and did not want Sean Payton. These three gentlemen are trying to build the football team, and they're trying to build the team and picks and trying to keep it flexible money picks. But unfortunately, these guys hired the wrong coach the first go around because they had a guy that was cock blocking them and everything that was going on. And then on top of all of that, he didn't want Tua. He wants now Watson instead. And he wanted Jordan Love. He was fighting for Jordan Love in the draft. And they had to kind of tell him, no, man, no, because all three guys did not want Jordan Love. So the three personnel guys didn't want Jordan Love, but Flo did. And then he wants Watson. You know, the guy that's all about integrity wants Watson. You know, Mr. Integrity at the Patriots and now Mr. Integrity here, Brian Flores. So think about this, okay? You got a front office. Minorities don't get the same opportunities, okay? So here's minorities trying to fight within the building. They've got two owners trying to go out and get other quarterbacks. They've got a head coach that wants to go out and get and trade for another quarterback. Now, let me walk you through all of this because you're not going to get this anywhere else. First of all, for those of you out there that wanted Tom Brady into all of this, you know what you would have had to done, right? You would have had to have traded a whole bunch of picks to Bruce Arians and the Tampa Bay Bucks or whoever's their head coach for Tom Brady first and foremost. So those picks you have next year and more, you were going to have to trade for Tom Brady. And then you were going to start giving up even more picks because of the tampering. Nobody talks about that. Oh, no, I would have wanted Tom Brady. Oh, but you didn't talk about the compensation you have to give to get Tom Brady. Because Tampa wasn't just going to let you have him. He's under contract. And then you're so stupid, you got busted for tampering. So now you were going to pay another first and a third on top of having Tom Brady. And who knows, with Tom Brady on the team, he might have been charged for tampering now. And so you want to trade for Watson. Oh, okay, great. Now you're going to give up a plethora of picks. You saw how many the Browns had to give up. And then on top of that, a suspension. Meanwhile, the front office was fine with Tua. And if you look at him, he looks great right now. He looks fully healthy, capable, comfortable, all of that. And I think he's going to be fine. You didn't have to do anything. What you had to do is let the football people do their jobs. That's what you had to do. Because if you let the football people do their jobs, well, then Tua's looking good. The offense is looking good. There's multiple picks next year, all of that. Now you screwed your own team. For what? For what? For failure? So you failed in cheating, and then you got fined for cheating. When all you had to do was shut up and let the football people do their job. And I hope I don't know, man, because, I mean, I don't expect him to sell the team. I wish they would have forced him and Beal out and put the team up for sale and have a new owner come in. I would have given anything for that at this point because I'm tired of Stephen Ross because I'm afraid he's going to do more and more. And Bruce Beal now. Now we've got Dumb and Dumber. Yeah. Stephen Ross, Bruce Beal. What do they have? Only 2 of those Dumb and Dumbers or 3? Then they just did a new one. Was that 2 or that was like the 3rd one, right? Or something like that? Well, then let's have the new Dumb and Dumber and let's put Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal on it. I think you have one of the best front offices in the NFL. I've been saying this for a while now. Even through all the adversity and all of you complaining last year and all that, I stuck to my guns and I told you those guys are awesome. They will prove to be awesome. But you got to let them do their job and you got to get out of the way. And you got to stop being a short-sighted fan. I mean, it just gets to the point where it's hard enough to be a fan. Now I have to deal with owners that don't know how to behave. Hell, they don't even know how to cheat. The guy that was here, the guy that created everything for this franchise and what they used to be, you know, his name, Don Shula. I cannot imagine Don Shula working with Stephen Ross. He would kill him. He would choke him out. Can you imagine Shula and the owner causing Shula to lose a 1st and a 3rd round pick? Can you imagine that? We're talking about a guy that when Marty Lyons blew out Stevenson's knee and ended his career, okay, Don Shula went right to that Jets locker room and they had to restrain him from going after Marty Lyons for the dirty hit that Lyons put on Stevenson to end his career. Because in those days, it was harder to come back from knee injuries. And when it was severe, you weren't going to come back from it. And Dwight Stevenson never made it back, and Shula was so pissed, He went after a player that probably could kick his ass with his legs and his hands tied. I can't imagine Shula putting up with this shit. It's unacceptable. And if Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal want to do something that is responsible, sell the team. Sell the team, get out. You're not wanted anymore. You're not trusted anymore. You don't belong in the owner's box. Just because you have the bank account doesn't mean you belong there. And that's the problem. And the only reason the league didn't fine him for the stuff with Flo is because it would have been a black eye on the entire Shield. So they get him, they say, well, hey, Steven, we got you here for cheating. And we can go after if we want to, but you're going to make all of us look bad. So we're going to go hard on you for the tampering since you cheated and you tampered, but the cheating is going to make all 32 look bad. So we'll go with tampering, and we're going to take you to the woodshed. And you're going to shut up, and you're going to go about your way and go ahead and put whatever silly comment you want to put out there. I wasn't born yesterday, dude. Okay? So I'm not believing any of this bullshit that's going on. They know he cheated. They know he lied. They know he told Flo that, but that doesn't benefit the league. So they went this route. And if you don't believe that, then you probably believed Bill Clinton when he told you he didn't inhale. 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Realm text line. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Realm text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that, my friends, is what we call a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. And appreciate all of you. Please smash the hell out of the like button while you're here. And very important that you subscribe to our channel. When we have over 400 people on the chat board right now and only 84 likes. Come on, man. Help some brothers out here. Help the great Sean Stanley. Help me. Help us. Get that algorithm going, man. Smash the hell out of that like button. It takes you a millisecond to do it. I was having a good day till I heard this news. We were all having a good day until we heard this news. I had a great time at camp, man. It was fun to watch that speed on the field. Tua is just, throwing darts all over the place. Austin Jackson actually had a nice day today, man. Even on a screen that was to his right side, he did a really good job over. I got to tell you, man, it's what I told Joe Rose today. I said, this takes away from us now talking about football. Now we have to talk about this bullshit. And it's just crazy that we have to talk about this. I'm looking forward to a good year, man. Jalen Phillips is looking good. Javon Holland looks like he's going to bust out and have a monstrous year. There's so many things. I love the speed coming out of the backfield. It's a lot of things that I wanted to talk about today with the team, and it was just fun to watch and feel good, man. I love the vibe that's there in the building. I love what Mike McDaniel's doing, and you got your owner working against your team. It's baffling to me. Think about this, okay? I want you to think about all of this. It's worse in this league to tamper with a player than with women. It's worse in this league to smoke a joint than beat on a woman. the priorities in this league are all screwed up. And the dirtiness and the lies and everything, it's just absolutely disgusting. But it's so twisted how this league runs things. And listen, at no point here am I making any excuses for the Dolphins. I'm not. The league went hard on them and whatever, and they're, Stephen Ross gets what he deserves. He's an idiot. But maybe now you wanted Jim Harbaugh, dude. Give me a break. Years later, did you see what a clown show that guy is? Give me a break. So he had some good moments in San Francisco. He did, because the front office was loading that team up. Kind of reminds me of a situation that was going on here. Anyway, you got a great front office, and this is how you reward your front office: by constantly trying to screw them over, put the quarterback in a difficult position, because it's not Greer, Marvin Allen, or Reggie McKenzie that don't want Tua. It's not them trying to trade for Watson. It's not them trying to trade for Brady. It's all the people around them. It's a crazy-ass coach that's out of control. It's a ridiculous owner that has been for years out of control. It's hard to work in that kind of environment, because it's hard for you to actually do your job. What a great job they've done to set this team up constantly, year in and year out. And here are these assholes killing a first and third round pick. I mean, if I'm Stephen Ross, you should be incredibly disgusted with yourself. You should be so embarrassed. You should never even go to that office again. Stephen Ross lost the right to look at his football people in the eye. That's what he had. Those are the people that work hard for what they're doing, bro. They put themselves in this position. They study players. They try to make moves. And you got some jagoff on the side because he's got a couple dollars in his pocket and he thinks he can play fantasy football. And you're not trained for football. Hasn't that been proven over and over again, Stephen Ross? Can you look, brother, if you want, call me over, Stephen. If you want, I'll sit down with you and I'll look at you in the face and say, Stephen, don't ever do anything with football. You don't know shit about football. Somebody's got to sit down with Stephen Ross and say, Stephen, just watch the games, write the checks, shut the fuck up. Go in a corner, bro. The only time we want to see you is if they win. You can come out, lift the trophy, hand it to McDaniel, and get the hell out of there, bro. Nobody wants to see you. Nobody wants anything to do with you anymore. And you've lost the right to get respect from your fans. You've lost the right to get any respect from the people in the building, because all you're a detriment to your own people, Stephen Ross. Do you understand that? Please, somebody have the balls and place this video in front of his face, because no other media member is going to say this. They're not going to say it on, the local stations. Please. Come on. Stephen Ross, dude, just get lost, my brother. If you have to own the team, then stay out of sight and out of mind. Don't ever address the media again. Nothing. Nobody wants to hear from you, dude. You've lost that right. You've proven over and over again that you're a detriment to your own team. You're a bad restaurant owner. When Jeff Weisner goes after your ass and sticks that mic in your face and say, where are all the roaches and the rodents and all that stuff, and the owner and the managers go running and scrambling, that's Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross, you're the guy that owns that restaurant full of roaches. You're a bad owner, dude. No matter how much money you spend, by costing your team this, you are a terrible owner. And you can no longer shake this anymore with Bullygate and everything else that's gone under your watch. You're the idiot that re-signed Joe Philbin after a meaningless game against the Minnesota Vikings. You know nothing about football. And you're a detriment to your own team and your fan base. It is time for you to step away. Also, Bruce Beal, by the way. Bruce Beal, my brother, you should never, ever take over. You have zero credibility whatsoever. Okay? The best thing Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal do is dis-a-fucking-peer. Sell the team and get lost. You've lost that right. Okay? No one can trust you. You're a constant liar. Okay? Because by saying that you go against it and the everything was proven, you're a liar. Because you did it with Sperano and you were busted. You're habitual. You're a habitual liar. You're a habitual violator. And you are a detriment to the Miami Dolphins and their fan base. It's over, man. Don't show up to stadiums anymore. Don't address the team anymore. You and Bruce need to sell the team. And let me tell you something. The fan base needs to start doing something about this. Because worldwide, I get to deal with Dolphins, and we care about the team. Obviously, season tickets sold out. I mean, it tells you. We're there, dude. The fan base is there. We've been there through everything. We're still here. You're a fly-by-nighter that comes from New York at times. I don't care that you went to Miami Beach High. It's over, man. Get someone else to own the team. Start petitions, start whatever, protests, whatever. I'm not saying to protest the team because these players and these coaches and this front office do not deserve that. They deserve a packed stadium, great atmosphere. They deserve your support, okay? But something's got to be done to push Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal out and get a real owner in here that will allow football people to do their job, and they can just sit back, count the money, and then address the fans whenever you have to say, hi, hey, everything's great, good, and get out. Leave. It's disgusting. I can't tell you how disgusted I am with Stephen Ross right now. Because I watched that. We finally have a good front office. We have a great front office. I don't care what anybody tells me. I was just telling the guys this while we were over there. This, you know, Reggie McKenzie, when he took over with the Raiders, and they were in Oakland at that time, they had made the stupid trade of Carson Palmer. And then they blew everybody up, and then they brought in Reggie. And Reggie had inherited the team when they had no first rounder that year and no second rounder the year after that. He still found Derek Carr and Khalil Mack. We got a front office. Marvin Allen, been a part of building the Falcons and the Chiefs, and this guy's an exceptional personnel guy. Greer knows his stuff, dude. Go look at that roster right now. It's a good-looking roster, man. It's got depth. They got young guys that you're, like, intrigued with. They're finding guys. I don't know if Trill Williams is the next Nick Needham, but, you know, when you can draft the Minkas and you can draft the Hollands and you can find the Needhams, and who knows if Trill is another one of those guys off the street, it's pretty amazing. I like what I see from Eric Azukama. The more I see, the more I like. I want to talk football, man. I'm pumped about this season. I'm pumped about the potential of this offense. And I got a talk about this shit? This is unfair, Stephen Ross. This is uncalled for, man. This is incredibly irresponsible on your part. 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. That is a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. It's crazy stuff, man. Just absolutely crazy stuff. By the way, Liquor Split, a proud sponsor. And let me tell you, if you're watching some sports and hanging out, or you got a meeting going on and you're in downtown Miami or in Coral Gables or in Miami Beach or Miami, Little Havana, the roads, I want you to download the app Liquor Split. Go to the App Store, iOS or Android, download it and order your favorite liquor for a flat fee of $2.99. That's it. So if you need some more beer, you got to load up, you ran out of a little Grey Goose vodka, you want some more, go to Liquor Split, tap that app. We all love tapping that app, and we're going to give you 15% off. So keep the party going, keep the gathering going. You don't want to leave. You want to keep the vibe going. Just tap that app. Plus, you're already drinking. You don't want to be driving. You tap that app within minutes. Within, I think it's like 35, 45 minutes, they'll have it there to you, man. So I'm telling you, it's quick. And if you're in the Miami area, that is your liquor store for a flat fee of $2.99. $1 goes to helping homelessness in Miami. So tap that app, download it, iOS or Android, and use our code BIGO15. You will get 15% off. BIGO15. Tap that app, liquorsplit.com. All right. What else do we have to talk about on Le Programme? Let me see what we got here. I like it. We got it to 200. Now we're over 500 people watching. So that like button. I'm sure Greer and the guys are pissed at this, but they are creative enough to get the pick back somehow. Yeah, but Ragin, they shouldn't have to do that. You made their job that much tougher by taking a first rounder away next year and a third rounder the following year. It's unacceptable, man. I'm sorry. Stephen Ross, enough. Get lost, bro. Enough already. You're not a good owner. You're a terrible, you're a liability to your team. I wish they'd sell to a Miami guy who understands that this team isn't a toy or a monument to his vanity. This hurts the whole Miami community in a way that lasts. Yeah. Yeah. So, let's see. Quick cry and accept the Dolphins got punished. Look forward to a fun season. Jimbo, I got to tell you something, bro. You're not paying attention. I am not complaining about the punishment, you moron. So guess what you get now? Bye. Bye, Jim Bones. See ya. Next time you might want to listen and pay attention. I never complained about losing the first and third. Haven't said that at all. I'm ripping Stephen Ross. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay? Pay attention and listen. There's no crying about the first and the third at all. That's the punishment. It is what it is. I think I even said it in the middle of my rant that I'm not complaining about the picks. They did it. And why? Because he's a habitual criminal. Stephen Ross is a habitual criminal. When it comes to the NFL, he's a habitual criminal in the NFL. He tampers all the time. That's who he is. That's what I'm complaining about, that we have a terrible owner who is irresponsible, and you are a dumbass that doesn't listen. So now you don't get to comment again. Next time, pay attention. Listen to the show. Listen to what the host is saying. Joshua says Big O dishes heat to Ross and blocks someone for giving their opinion. That's it. No, he didn't give his opinion. he actually accused me of crying about the picks, which, again, now, here we go. Let's see. Joshua Cordero. There we go. How about that, Joshua? How about that, my brother? We could continue to have some fun if you want. You know, if you guys want to keep being stupid and ignorant, I will block stupid and ignorant all the time. Stupid and ignorant isn't needed on the show. But thank you anyway. Appreciate it. John C., thank you for the love on the super chat. Oh, wait a minute. I should do it this way, right? This is what we're supposed to do now on the new. Now that I figured out how to do this stuff, John C., there we go. This was what I was concerned about last year before the draft. I thought perhaps we should move back into the first round in case we lost picks, kick it down the road. Well, thank you, John C., for the super chat, sir. What are we going to do, right? Stephen Ross is just a bonehead, and we can't do anything about it. We're stuck with a owner that doesn't get it at all. That's the sad part. Okay? We're stuck with that guy. And now we're stuck with Bruce Beal, which is really the worst part, that now we've got to deal with Bruce Beal because Bruce Beal now is cut from the same cloth as Stephen Ross. Same thing. He does the same kind of stupid things that Stephen Ross does. So we're going to be at risk again with another owner that doesn't know what he's doing. That's all. Big O, you think this affects the team this season? No. That doesn't. It affects the front office in the future. It doesn't affect this team on the field this year. This team has no excuses. They got to go out there and go have a good year. Okay, that has nothing to do. We got a hell of a team here that we're watching with the Dolphins. They've got enough talent to get to the playoffs. So let's get to the playoffs. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy the football. Next year, we'll have to see how Greer and company overcome some of these, moronic moves by these guys, which if Gesicki balls out, you either re-sign him or trade him, right? Now that I'm thinking about it. What are you going to do? Patrick Gator says, Big O, where does Miami go from here in the court of public opinion to get this drama behind us? The only way to get it behind us is if Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal sell and get out. If they don't, it will always be there with us. Big O will buy the Dolphins after Atlas skyrockets 10,000%. That might get me the whole deal right there. I'm with you. I love your passion. I was doing my job when I found out and yelled the F word, and my customers looked at me funny. Well, you bleed orange and aqua, my brother. I feel you. Oh, what do you think about the O-line today? I was pleasantly surprised with Jackson. I thought Jackson did a nice job today. I thought Austin did well. I saw him involved in single blocks, in combo blocks. I saw him handle D linemen and linebackers. So it was one of those things. I watched him a lot in practice today. It was one of those things that I was focused in on because I was very intrigued to see how he would play, because obviously we want to know. Eichenberg had a bad one today. He had a really bad moment where he allowed a sack for sure. I can't tell you that I watched Eichenberg every single time. I watched a lot of Jackson and some Eichenberg. But I thought Jackson did a pretty good job overall, man. I got to say. We need Greer and company to pull a Revenge of the Sith and go into Ross's office a la Mace Windu. But honestly, he is the absolute worst. He is. He's pretty much disgraceful. And David, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. So it's funny how by mistake I learned how to do something. I had no idea you could do that at all until the porn bots yesterday. And boy, we were bombarded with those porn man, how many? We must have been hit like 10 or 15 times yesterday with those porn bots. Yater says, Big O, just tuning in. Have you talked about the punishment the NFL gave the team? No. What happened? What are you talking about, Yater? They punished the team? Really? We were just talking about that the Marlins haven't made a trade. That's what we've been talking about for 44 minutes, because that's what we do on this show. We talk all Marlins. No, I have no idea what you're talking about with the Dolphins. Really? They got fined? I have no idea. Wow. Damn. Somebody explain to me out there what Yater's talking about. I have no idea. Danny, thank you for the love in the super chat. He says, I thought Skylar Thompson outplayed Teddy today. Skylar is a much better talent than Teddy, but Teddy's the better quarterback right now. I talked about this yesterday. I love the Skylar Thompson project. He has no business on the team this year. Okay. He is still very raw, but as they told me in the building, the upside is they're looking at him as a backup quarterback. So if they can develop by next year a guy that can be a backup quarterback, then, Teddy's only here for a year, so Teddy will move on. And then with Skylar, he's more athletic. So you can use him in Wildcat and things like that, so you don't put two at risk to take extra hits for no reason at all. So I can see a little something like that. But here, let me tell you something. This kid is miles and miles away from getting to be a backup quarterback in the NFL. He's super raw. But I am with you, Danny. I like the talent. I like the project. I like the idea. They'll probably try to stash him on the practice squad this year and work with him throughout the year. But he is nowhere near where Teddy is right now, mind and everything. But athletically, oh, God, he's superior to Teddy. Yes. And thank you for the super chat. Got another one in, Robert Valdez. He says, Big O, Ross and Beal are the two stooges who somehow get fined for tampering without landing the person they tampered with. Yep. You are correct, and thank you for the super chat. But think about this, Robert. Okay? As I said earlier, you were going to have to trade a bunch of picks to land Brady anyway. So look how stupid. You would have given up a bunch of picks to land Brady. Then you would have been fined a couple of picks more for tampering with Brady. And now that Brady's on your team, it was officially tampering, because now him and Don Yee can say, no, we were going on that boat. We had no idea they were talking to us. We were just going on for an NFL party. So they can play it off. But if he ends up signing with Miami, it does become officially tampering. So you trade all the picks for Brady. You then get fined more picks for tampering with Brady. And then Brady also gets suspended. Don't you love Stephen Ross and Bruce Beal? Tell you, bro. Let's see. I also got to finally see the running game show some flashes. This could be a really fun year. Yeah, and the misdirection was good stuff today, too. There was one play where, I don't know about you guys, but it completely faked me out. And Mostert was running wide side to the far side of the field, and I was looking inside, near side of the field on the fake reverse. And so that was actually really good ball handling by Tua, and then a great job of play calling and design also by them, which, again, remember last year, play call, play design. How much did I complain about that? I will probably not be complaining about that this year. They will have what makes rhyme and reason out there. Okay? So I loved Eric Ezukama today. I thought he played well. I thought Austin Jackson did a good job. Tua was sharp. What's it called? Jalen Phillips looks good. What else? Preston Williams doing a nice job overall. Sailor had a great playlist, had a couple country songs, not much of a country guy, but he had a lot of rock. He had some Metallica, had a couple Metallica songs, had AC/DC, had Billy Squier. I was impressed. He did a nice job with his playlist. You would figure he had some rap, but it was more newer rap. Although he did have something more old school rap later on. I forgot what it was. The new school stuff, I'm not really that much into the new school rap. There's so much of it sounds all the same. It's just weak sauce. Sorry, kids, but your rap nowadays is straight ass garbage. Okay, and all that what's that crap that they do with their voice? That a lot of the songs have that crap. What's that thing called? Oh God, it's so terrible. Seriously, I just whatever. It's bad. Whatever that thing is called, but yeah, good playlist by Siler. Auto-tune, that's it. That crap, exactly. I can't sing, so let me put my voice through auto-tune. I get it. I don't sound great, so let me put my voice through auto-tune. I get it. Y'all can't have a voice like Chuck D, like a real man's voice to rap. I understand. We could probably get some gum and sunflower seeds if we trade for Preston Williams. Yeah, you can. I saw some some idiot fan on Twitter. I was just laughing. He goes, "Oh man, we better trade Preston now. I'm sure we could get a second rounder." And I'm like, what kind of dope is this guy smoking? Does he know that they picked up Preston Williams off the street and anybody could have had him in the offseason? By the way, is Preston Williams a smart guy? Because I kind of question his intelligence. So I'm a free agent. The team doesn't tender me, so they don't think highly of me. They go and draft Eric Ezukama, which, by the way, I had him say his name today, and I was right the entire time. It is Ezukama. So they draft Eric Ezukama. They also bring in Trent Sherfield from San Francisco, who knows everything that he does. And they have the other guy also, the other receiver also that they got from San Francisco that also knows his system. They go and sign Cedric Wilson in free agency. So they're giving him money, something they weren't willing to give you. And then they trade for Tyreek Hill. Where did Preston Williams think that was a good idea? There's a reason why he talks about Doge. He doesn't even understand that SHIB actually has technology behind it. It has some function, a lot of function behind it. It has a blockchain. It has an ecosystem that it's trying to build, whereas Doge has nothing. And today, we had Preston Williams at the podium, obviously. So let's bring up Preston Williams here. Let's share with you the press conference with Preston Williams and hear his comments after he was saying that, he doesn't get enough of a chance. Okay? So let's hear from Preston Williams, and we'll talk after this.
Well, I just feel like I'm not getting opportunities I deserve. Simply scripted wise, not being on the field wise. Just if I got to go route, I got to play off the top and scripted like that. So opportunities to show that I can beat my man. That's all.
Did you have a conversation with Mike?
Yeah, we had a conversation, like OTAs. One specific thing I asked him was, I just want my opportunity. He said, you'll get your opportunity. So I just want to make him a man of his words. That's all.
Have you asked for a trade or will you?
I haven't asked anything. Definitely talked to my agent, but haven't asked anything.
After you saw them make all the moves they made in the offseason, what motivated you to sign with this team knowing they had drafted a wide receiver and signed another one in free agency?
Well, I like competition. So I feel like Coach said they're going to compete. I'm going to come compete. I've been here, what I'm saying? So why not sign back with the team I've been with since my rookie year?
Is there any part of you that feels you might have ruined some of the prior opportunities you've had when you've been out there?
Nah, I know what I can do, man. Opportunity is everything. Put me on the field, you'll see.
How do you feel Coach McDaniel reacted to your expressing your frustration on social media as opposed to like maybe the way it would have been reacted to last year?
I'll tell him. Definitely caught me by surprise. I guess it come with it. You're gonna say something. They're gonna say something back. So.
There you go. That is Preston Williams addressing the Meteors today. He just doesn't get it. And let me tell you something. He's got a pretty shitty agent. Because either you have a shitty agent or nobody wanted you. Because it makes no sense. I mean, okay, if Preston can't figure it out by himself, I even asked him as you saw, but I explained it to you. They signed 3 guys in free agency, 2 street free agents and one free agent that they gave a contract to, and they traded for another guy and then drafted another guy. Come on, dude. And that's where I think Preston just doesn't get it. And one of the things that I talked about today when we were out there at camp, go look at Trill Williams. Anybody giving Trill Williams anything? Anything? Are they giving it to him? Did somebody hand him a job? Or is he competing against a first-round pick, by the way? And maybe outperforming a first-round pick at times. What Preston Williams needs, he needs to grow the hell up. He's still a child. That's what I saw on the podium today. I saw a child that hasn't grown into a man and doesn't realize that you're in the real world. Nobody's going to give you anything. You need to go out and take it. If you don't take it, then you weren't worthy of it. Trill Williams is going out there trying to steal a job. He's not complaining. He's not pointing fingers. He's not doing anything. He's not going on social media. None of that shit. Once you go on social media, it just shows me that you still don't get it. And that's what I saw. And it's a damn shame, because we're talking about an incredibly talented young man. The Lord blessed him with the ability to play in this league. But the problem is, you got to have the heart and you got to have the determination. You just don't get by on talent. And that was his problem in high school and in college. And that's why he dropped out of the draft with all that talent, because nobody trusts him as a professional. And on social media and today at the podium, he lacked all sense of professionalism. DJ Gallagher, thank you for the love on the super chat. Is there a chance this distraction solidifies the team? A me versus the world type of thing? Check Cash App. Oh, thank you. Oh, you made a crypto donation. I love it. Let's see. Here we go. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I like it. Came in today at $3.50 from Mr. DJ Gallagher. Appreciate you. There you go. You can donate a little Bitcoin here also on the program. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. So DJ Gallagher donated some Bitcoin at Cash Big O Show on Cash App. And then he goes over here on the super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And let me see, what else do we have here? And Venmo, Daniel Rodriguez. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Let's see, what do we have here? All right. What do we have? We are ready to go. All right. Let's do this. Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, folks, is a proud sponsor of our show. But Diego's First Cut Preston. He'll be there. They might keep him around just for injuries. Oh, you know what? The way he is, you probably don't. You're right. He's probably part of the First Cuts. But anyway, Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, folks, is celebrating 14 straight years now. And 12 straight years, they've been the number one volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. We've been with them already for 12 years now. We're going on 13 years. They've been a proud sponsor of our program. We broadcast from there every month, twice a month at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Go check out the 2023 Integra. It's in, and they have got a great selection, whether it's new or certified pre-owned vehicles. Listen, if you own an Acura, go over there and go see Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber. They will take care of you. They are just absolutely fantastic people, and they do a great job at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Tell them that Big O sent you, folks. They will take care of you, and find out why they are the number one volume sales dealership 12 years in a row in the Southeast United States. Our number 2 is next. And we'll start it off with Manny Navarro. What's it called? We are also going to talk a little Dolphins football too. So we'll get a Dolphins report with Cam Wolf also. So we got a lot of things going on. And we'll continue to talk a little bit about what happened at camp today and what happened with the Stephen Ross mess. Our number 2 is next. We start off with Manny Navarro. Canes camp is also underway.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InnerMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All righty, we are ready to go. How you feeling, Manny? You feeling good?
Doing great, out here in a parking lot in Coral Gables. Just left media day, so it was productive. A lot of interviews, a lot of good conversation. So I'm ready to go, man. Camp starts Friday. Let's get this thing rolling.
I like it. I like it. So injury-wise, are there any concerns going in just in case? Is there anybody that's not going to be starting camp? Let me start off with bad news and get that out of the way.
Well, Zion Nelson, as we talked about previously on the show, came out in a picture a few weeks ago with a big brace on his knee, and that was because he was having a procedure done to basically clear out some cartilage, kind of clean out his knee. It was minor surgery, so he won't be ready for the start of camp, but that doesn't mean he won't be ready for the start of the season. I asked Zion today. He said he had the surgery 3 weeks ago. The prognosis was 6 to 8 weeks. We know Miami has 2 cream puffs to start the season pretty much with Bethune-Cookman and I guess Middle Tennessee State or Southern Miss, I think it is, before they go to that Texas A&M game on September 17th. So I think Miami's in a good position where even if Zion Nelson isn't ready for the start of the season, game 1, he definitely looks like he'll be ready for Texas A&M, which is the first real test.
I like it. All right. So that's good. And that's one game that it's like, I'm not going to sit here and go, I expect them to beat Texas A&M. They're really not supposed to beat Texas A&M. Texas A&M is loaded. Jimbo's been at this for a couple more years ahead of Mario rebuilding his team.
Yep.
So, but that is going to be, it's kind of like Dolphins Bills. Like, you want to see how far you are from the best team in your division, or maybe even in the conference, right? Is what you can say. Same thing here. You're talking about a SEC team. Okay, we want to know where Miami is compared to the Georgias and the Texas A&Ms and the Alabamas of the world. So it's a nice measuring stick. And you would like to have a guy like that there for a measuring stick game.
Absolutely. And, there's going to be other guys that when we start camp on Friday, I'm sure will not be, fully dressed and participating in contact drills. But, Mario Cristobal reiterated today, the only guy on the team who's not going to be available for the start of the season in his eyes is Ryan Rodriguez. He's a second-year offensive lineman who had surgery, and it's the only significant injury. So, yes, I know everybody's going to freak out when we're tweeting on Friday, me and the other reporters who cover this team saying, hey, such and such guy isn't here, or he's, off to the side. I think, the general consensus here is Miami had a lot of injuries in the spring, and it's like normal. Everybody, brings guys along slowly to make sure that they're healthy for the season, because that's what matters. And so there'll be a couple of other guys. Akeem Mesidor, who's a big-time defensive lineman that they got through the transfer portal out of West Virginia, a guy who started last year at West Virginia. I think he was second team all conference. He told me today he's dealing with a shoulder. He's only 80% back from that shoulder injury that he had in the bowl game for West Virginia. So, he's going to probably not be practicing the first couple of weeks, or at least being brought along slowly. So there will be guys as practice progresses here that you'll see are probably not practicing the first week or two full on. Again, that doesn't mean they won't be ready for the start of the season and that Texas A&M game.
Manny, do we know how Mario is going to prepare this team? How much different will it be compared to what's happened in the past? I was reading Barry Jackson's article where he was talking about how, like, Diaz was sometimes too concerned about being friends with the players, and he would let stuff slide, and that, Mario's more old school. He's not going to let stuff slide. He's going to be, in other words, he's going to make people accountable, which, well, shocker. That's kind of, let's all grow up and be accountable. You know what I mean? I just had a press conference with Preston Williams. Talk about a guy that has no idea what the word accountability is. That's it right there. So I'm wondering what happens. How much tougher is it? How much more physical is it? What kind of rules limit them from doing what they need to do? You talk to me about, what do you know? Because maybe also it's maybe an unfair question because we haven't gone through it yet. So I don't know if they've told you, or you're still kind of waiting to see how that whole thing is going to develop and what's the difference.
Well, I think we all have to wait and see once the games start, right? But, I had an interesting conversation today with Jared Harrison Hunt, for instance, who, by the way, a lot of these guys still do like Manny Diaz, okay? They still have a good, positive relationship with that guy. But Mario is certainly a different animal, and accountability is a big issue, as you said. I think it was Jalen Rivers, the offensive lineman, who told me today that Mario, when their shirts are out of their shorts at practice, he screams at them. Your shirt is out of your shorts. You have to tuck it in. There's little details like that where he's old school, as you said, and stays on top of them, and the players really believe, okay, I talked to about 15 of them today, that what Mario brings in terms of being a guy who's won a national championship here, won 2 rings here as a player, coached at the highest levels at Alabama, they believe it when he says it. And I'm not going to sit here and say they didn't believe it when Manny Diaz said it, because, he's the head coach. You got to respect the head coach. But it's just a different level of trust. And I think it's evident that these guys, when they look at Mario and when he says something, it resonates in a different way. So there's no question in my mind. Now, is that going to translate to this team all of a sudden no longer losing to Virginia and to Duke and to, having to fight in the fourth quarter to beat Central Michigan? Is that going to be the case? I don't know. We won't know till we see the players on the field. We won't know. Are they going to blow tackling assignments? Are we going to see Gervin Hall completely whiff, on a guy when he's trying to bring him down in the open field, where it's replayed 1,000 times on sports?
Yeah, that's the worst play in the history of the Canes. I mean, that's just
that. I think things are different, but I can't tell you until we see these guys on the field and execute. It's a different era. Like, these players, these kids are different people. I will tell you, it feels different. It sounds different. Now, will it look different? That's the final hurdle to cross.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm with you there. That's really we've got to fight. But listen, I'm watching a guy that's his today, and Javon Holland. So if they're built like that and they're mentally like that, then he's getting the right guys. The problem is we also have to understand the guys are left over from the other regime, and so they are already kind of set in their ways, and that's the stuff that he may have to weed through, because some of these guys may be lazy. Some of these guys may not be ready to really, all of a sudden this is a completely different way of coaching compared to how you were being coached before. The guy that's here now doesn't care about, he's not worried about your feelings. You know what I mean? He's worried about winning. And so, that's going to be the intro. Now, listen, again, I'm expecting, and I think you are too, I think most Canes are, we're expecting a much more professional approach from this team. That's all.
Yeah, and I think we will see that, and I think he's already implemented some ways, with whether it's tucking in shirts, whether it's guys being early for practice, right, coming in early, not being there on time, being there early, all those kind of core beliefs that Mario has. I think you're already seeing actions take place on the field. Again, it's what do we see on fall Saturdays when it matters between the lines? Do those guys resort to their old tendencies, or do they adopt this new line of thinking and execute and perform the way that they should? I will tell you this, though, okay? A lot of these guys physically impressed the hell out of me today. I mean, there were some guys that put on some weight, that got bigger, that looked like grown men compared to than they did a year ago. And I know we say that every year at this time, but I really do think Aaron Feld, whatever it was that he was doing in the weight room with these guys to get them bigger and stronger, there are real changes in some of these guys' bodies that you saw today. And I think Mario is 1,000% recruiting in a way that resembles the way guys at Alabama and Georgia look. Right?
They have to. If you're gonna beat those kind of people, you better go recruit the same kind of players.
Yes,
that are there. I mean, that's just automatic, dude. You have to do that. That's the only way to go. That's the only way to go about it.
There's no question.
And that's been the issue here for a while, that you could tell that the players that were on this team could not be compared to the guys at Clemson. And then whenever you did run into an Alabama or whatever, like a couple of years ago, you were like, holy crap, look at those players and look at our players. And there was just an enormous difference. And that difference, that cannot continue. That's why that kid is being recruited that's like 6'6", 330 already or something. And he's in high school. I forgot the name of the kid, but he's an enormous, huh? Which is the
offensive
tackle. Yeah. That guy that is just an absolute beast. And I'm like, at that age, that kid's already that size. And that's what Alabama and Ohio State and Texas A&M, and that's what they recruit every single year.
Mario and I had a conversation this summer, and he mentioned to me the blueprint, Nick Saban, and I'm pretty sure somewhere in Nick Saban's blueprint there was probably a sentence that said, you don't recruit somebody who's small unless whatever one skill he has is beyond elite.
Right.
And so size matters in this game, as you know, and so many of these kids at Miami that have been recruited here the last few years, they've taken some shortcuts, especially at the linebacker position. There's been some guys that they've taken that are a little undersized, need to put on a whole bunch of weight. You look at the guys they've got committed to that position now, you got 6'2", 230, 6'3", 235. I mean, those are grown men that are ready to play at the college level when they walk in the door. And that's so important if he's going to be able to turn this thing around quickly. I will tell you, we're talking about size and growth. Funny story, Leonard Taylor's the 5-star, commitment that they got 2 years ago that Manny Diaz pulled in here. And he's a guy who should probably play a ton this year. Led the team with 9.5 tackles last year, only played 200 snaps. Okay, he's going to play a lot more in this defense. Leonard today told me he's gained about probably 20 pounds of muscle. And, they definitely do different kind of physical tests. Like Aaron Feld, as I was mentioning earlier, the strength coach, he talked about how all these defensive linemen, offensive linemen have to do pull-ups now. And when you're in high school, you remember we used to do the pull-up tests when we were kids, right?
Yeah.
I was a fat
That
kid.
was back when I could actually do a couple pull-ups.
Right. I was a fat kid. I was lucky if I could do 1 or 2 pull-ups, right? Whenever we did that test every single year. And Leonard told me last year, okay, when he started, he did 1 pull-up. This is a guy who's 6'5", 280 pounds, 270 pounds coming out of high school. And you talk about, getting them prepared, right, to play at this level. He's going to do 1 pull-up. He's already up to 8 now. And he's benching, I think, 60 pounds more. That's in 1 summer with Mario Cristobal, strength coach, in the system here. So, every single one of these guys that I talked to, I spent most of my time talking to offensive and defensive linemen today, because to me, that's where you're going to see the difference, right, in Miami going forward. If they're going to be great again, they got to dominate on both sides of the line. And all of them talked about the tremendous gains that they've made in the weight room and how much stronger they feel in this new system and why it's different. And that's something I'll be writing about for The Athletic here probably in the next day or two. But just that to me was sort of overwhelming.
And what will be more impressive is that they all hit their goals, and then they all get Feld's a mustache, and then they're all walking around with the Feld mustache. That would be good. Or you could make them laugh and piss them off at the same time. You could say, Coach, why don't you do this? Okay. Those that fail to meet their, goals, they're forced to actually wear your mustache. Mm-hmm. And then he'll laugh, and then he'll say, well, wait a minute. Hey, so there you go. So, one of those things.
I don't know how many of these kids could grow that mustache out, man. That is a funky mustache for sure.
That thing is glorious. That thing is absolutely glorious, and he is a trip. All right, on the recruiting side, anything happened over the last couple of days?
Well, they picked up a 2024 kicker, the number 1 kicker in the country. And I know we all used to laugh, right, until those seasons when Miami didn't have a kicker and they couldn't make a field goal and their punting was atrocious.
And that's the guy we were going to draft with the 3rd-round pick in a couple of years. So, now we don't have a 3rd-round pick for the guy. Damn it.
Well, they got a kicker in the 2024 class. And I think there could be some things that happen here in the coming days. Connor Liu is I think he's a 3 or 4 star rated, offensive lineman. I don't know if he's a guard or a tackle. I was trying to remember if he was a guard or a tackle, but he's a kid who will be deciding, I think, on Friday. I know Miami's in the running for him. They've quietly been recruiting him. Again, another lineman, Jaden Bonsu, the safety from New Jersey that Miami was supposed to get committed last month. I think he's announcing on the 14th. So we have a couple guys that potentially could be committing to Miami here as camp gets underway. That's something to keep an eye on. But I think for the most part, the best of the best kids. I mean, I asked Mario today about recruiting and taking official visits, right? Because it happens every year. These kids commit in the summertime. Then we get to November and December, and everybody's like, "Ooh, are you going to go to this school? Are you going to visit that school? You're going to, I want to take a visit here." And Mario basically said to me, look, when I committed to Miami, the first thing Jimmy Johnson told me, if you're serious about your commitment, you're going to help me recruit other players. And so that's what Mario considers a commitment to Miami. Not only are you committed, but you're trying to bring guys here. And I think that's starting to happen. I know Miami's really trying to get this Jaron Dickey kid out of California who's committed to Oregon. He's a 5-star receiver. I know that they're kind of going back on Brandon Innes, the 5-star here from Plantation American Heritage. Miami's trying to steal guys away from other schools that are committed right now. And I think, all those things are sort of permeating in the air in the background here as camp gets underway.
All right, there you go. What else are you working on The Athletic so folks can check you out, sir?
Well, listen, we just put out a whole depth chart story. So everybody who messages me and asks and says, hey, Manny, what's going on position by position? There's one place to find it. It's right there. We have the depth chart for you. I have your projected starters, and I'm going to go into that story today and update it with some of the injury news and some of the basics. So we have one sort of central place for all your information whenever you have roster questions.
Love it. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And, of course, subscribe to The Athletic so you can catch all the insight every single day because he's writing at least 46 articles a day. So you won't even have enough time to read what he writes every day. That's how impressive it is.
That's how
There
it
you
works.
go. All right, rock on the rest of the week, my brother. We will catch
All
up
right.
on Friday. Thank you as always.
See you soon, brother. Take care.
You got it. And don't forget, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. They've got anything and everything with the U logo on it. And you can get Miami Dolphins gear. Stephen Ross, we don't need you there. You can get Miami Marlins gear, Florida Panthers, Miami Heat, Inter Miami. They've got some sweet gear. Man, that was a fun game this weekend. I just wish they would have won, man. Damn it. That is Manny Navarro. And don't forget, by the way, folks, you can order online at caneswear.com anywhere in the country. Free shipping over $99. Tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. caneswear.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Nature B. Nature B is for me. And folks, we have extended the offer. I talked to Jeff. I was talking to him yesterday in Clean Green, New Zealand. He said, man, we had a great month. A lot of the listeners ended up getting the 2 months and the third month for free with free shipping by using our code Big O. He said, we're going to extend it for another month so folks can get on the bandwagon. You can feel the power of pollen every day, boost that immune system, because that's my favorite thing. I rarely ever have a cold. I love my Nature Bee. I've been taking it for over 20 years. You can too. A little Nature Bee is for me, baby. So get out there, go to naturebee.com, do it right there on your phone. You get to order 2 months. The third month is for free, and the shipping is free as long as you use our code Big O. So free shipping. You get 3 months for the price of 2, 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals and powerful antioxidants. Man, when I'm telling you, ladies, you're going to get stronger nails, your smoother skin, fuller hair. It supports good health. It boosts your immune system. Also gives you energy throughout the day. So that way in the afternoon, running out of gas after you had that lunch, you're powering through with Nature B. You've got the energy. You see me every day. I've got that energy. naturebee.com. Buy 2 months, get the third month for free and free shipping. Use our code Big O and check it out. naturebee.com. All right. What else do we have here? These athletes today have to be 100% to make it. The competition is brutal. In the old days, if you were a beast, that was all you needed. Yeah, and usually the off season, like training camp, is what you use to get in shape. You can't do that anymore. You've got to be in shape right from the get-go. Man of 1,005 holds says, can't wait to see the Hurricanes. Not expecting them to go undefeated, but it's just the effort that I want to see. I'm with you. Effort. I want to see them play smart, discipline. Richard McLean says, I can see Preston Williams to New England for a 7th-round pick, then cut after one game. That's the New England way. I don't even know if you can get a 7th-rounder for him, to be quite honest. He's not doing anything. He hasn't done it. He was a free agent. And when he told me, when I asked him today, I said, you saw the movement. Why did you sign here? And, I like competition. It's like, dude, you need to use common sense. The coach there, you're not their guy. The front office, they know you, but not the head coach. So if you're the back end receiver, you have to understand already. I mean, if you're Preston Williams, you have to use logic and say, well, Waddle and Tyreek and Cedric Wilson already made the team, and they drafted a kid in the 4th round, which they weren't even willing to draft me. So he already made it. So 4 are in. He's got to be, okay, so wait a minute. If I'm going to be the 5th guy or 6th guy, I've got to be a monster on special teams, and I'm not. That's a lack of maturity. because when you don't have the awareness, and then where's your agent in all of this? That's really the question I have for Preston. I don't know who his agent is, but whoever his agent is, brother, you did or sister, because I don't know if it's a man or a woman, either one, whatever sex it is, you screwed up. You misguided that kid. Unless, here's the other thing I don't know. Maybe nobody wanted him. Maybe all he could do was sign in Miami, and they gave him a contract because they felt bad for him, and why not have another body in camp? Josh says, oh, I will see you Saturday at training camp. Well, I will see you, sir. I will be there Friday and Saturday for those of you that are going out there. So Friday, we will have an afternoon show, and then Saturday, obviously, afternoon. When we go to camp in the morning, we have to have a show in the afternoon. We can't do the morning show. Tomorrow, we're back in the morning. Tomorrow, we start at 8:45 in the morning, okay? We start off early because Inside the Paint is back, all right? Clay Ferraro has stepped aside. Kurt Heelan has stepped in. I think down the line, maybe Clay can rejoin us in some other role. But we changed it up a little bit there, and we added a national news guy to go along with Ira, because obviously Kurt Heelan runs Pro Basketball Talk. He's the editor of Pro Basketball Talk. So now you've got a national insider along with Ira, who knows the Heat better than anybody else and inside and out. So it's a nice combination, and they will start off tomorrow at 9 a.m. I will be on at 8:45, warming up the seat, and then, tossing it over to the guys. And then we will have a full list of guests also tomorrow. So tomorrow we will have a normal show on a Wednesday. All right. I bet stock in burner phones goes up in free agency. Ross should invest. He got fined $1.5 million, made it up in Formula One, and then some first-round draft stings. Sum up in one word: meh, or lucky. I don't know about that. I already said my piece. You can rewind, and we lit their ass up for the first 45 minutes. Harley says, I'm way behind in the video. I don't want to miss any by skipping forward, but do you worry that if Ross sold the team, we'd lose the front office and the coach? I don't know how it works. If the front office and the coach kick ass this year, it doesn't matter that you won't lose them. Now, if they're not doing well, of course, you can always lose them. But at this point, Ross is not helping them, is hurting them. And Ross obviously cannot help himself. With the Jim Harbaugh stuff and now this, he clearly can't help himself. He doesn't know how to. It's just, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible look, man. Terrible look. Please smash the hell out of the like button. All right. We're over 300, and we thank you out there as always. We told you yesterday in our liquor split matchup of the night to go with the Reds -1.5. If you did that, you were a winner. Why don't we do this? Let's give you our liquor split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
28 games against the number. We are 19-9. We are red hot in our last 28 games. 19-9. Yesterday, we told you to take the Reds -1.5 runs. They won 3-1 against the Marlins. Luzardo, by the way, gave up 2 earned runs in 5 innings. Didn't have a bad outing. Started a little rough and then settled down. Tonight, 6:40, Graham Ashcraft and Braxton Garrett are on the mound. Ashcraft, the last time against the Marlins, 6 2/3, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. Garrett, last time against the Reds, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, and 8 Ks. The Reds are favored by 2.5 runs in this one. All right. The over and under is 5.5 runs. That's because the Marlins can't score. And the Reds are favored by -416, and the Marlins are +202. 2.5 is a lot. They're going to lose by 3 runs. It's possible. But you know what? I'm going to go against, normally it's 1.5, but this thing is ballooned to 2.5. I got to tell you something. I'm going to take the Marlins plus the 2.5. I think they'll lose, But if they lose, I think they'll keep it close enough because it's not like the Reds are this incredible. This isn't the Big Red Machine. But 2.5 is a lot. I'm going to go Marlins plus 2.5 here. Let's see if we pick up our 20th win in 30 games, or in 29 games. I'm sorry, because we're 19-9. Let's see if we do that. Marlins plus 2.5 in our liquor split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download the Tap That app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
Tapping that app. Yeah. And we love Clarence Collins coming in. A little love on the super chat. He says, Big O, I met you today. It was a pleasure. Thanks for telling Mr. Ross off. I mean, it's disgusting what's going on with Ross. He's an embarrassment. He is really an embarrassment. Clarence, thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you. I believe you're the gentleman that you and I were walking down the stairs together talking a little football. So, yes, good to meet you, sir. And those of you that I met out at practice today, look forward. If you're out at practice on Friday or Saturday, come on over to the media area. Would love to meet you, man. Take a pic, whatever. But I always love meeting the folks that help our channel grow and have been supporting us for many, many years. Thank you, Clarence. And Danny also chimes in with a little super chat. He says, being reported Tua got married 2 weeks ago. Yes. Congratulations to Tua if he did get married under the radar. You got to love that. Tony says, getting Kurt Heelan was a strong move, Big O. Best sports talk in South Florida by miles. Not even close. Actually, there's very little sports talk left in South Florida outside of our channel. Let's be quite honest, all right? You know what I'm saying? So, but thank you. We are working our asses off, and we're working on a couple of other things that we need to make happen. We're pretty close to putting this Dolphin show together. We're trying to put together a Kane show for you also. And we're working on several things. We're working on several things where the platform will grow and we'll have more and more content, and we'll continue to add more and more people. But it's just one of those processes, and we need your help. We need you to smash the like button. You have no idea how much that helps. It is so awesome when you smash the like button and get it going, man. It really helps out. Visit our sponsors, whether it's Liquor Split. Hey, myedgedrink.com. You guys want a great energy drink? John is just absolutely fantastic, a great sponsor of ours. And I drink Edge energy drink now because I hate energy drinks, but this one is delicious, smooth, and has zero aftertaste. And folks, you can order it anywhere in the country, 10% off. Use my code Big O, and you'll get it delivered right to your home. You can't get it in a store. You got to get it online, myedgedrink.com. Get 10% off, get it delivered there. Those are the important things. Visit our sponsors. Very, very important. Okay? Hit that like button. Visit our sponsors. Subscribe. Subscribe to our other channel, Big O Show Cuts. We did the Saturday show there, and there will be certain shows that will be there and live programming that's going to come out of there eventually. So, you may want to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also on this channel, hit the notification bell. That way you know when Sean posts a new video, when we go live, all those things. The notification bell will give you the heads up that it's there. Why punish the fans for the sins of the owner? I'm with you, my brother. I would have rather them force Ross and Beal to sell the team. That would be the perfect thing, actually, because the fans and the team and the front office weren't doing this. This was all the owner. So I'm with you. Miami Dolphins, they have released defensive lineman Adam Butler. Oh, well. Not the end of the world, Adam Butler. He did all right. He got better as the year went on last year, but whatever. Jonathan Dill says, what up, Big O? While I don't agree with Ross's antics, we lost a first rounder and a suspended owner for tampering, but Watson gets 6 games slap on the wrist suspension. The NFL is a joke. Yeah, I said it earlier. You can You can tamper with women, but you can't tamper with a player. Think about that. You don't smoke a joint, but now go ahead and hit women. Their priorities are all screwed up. You may want to listen to the first hour. I pretty much sizzled Ross like he's never been sizzled before. And he needs to get sizzled. And he needs to disappear from everywhere. Don't be around the team. You're not welcomed. You're not trusted. You're bad for the organization. That's the bottom line. You've done this tampering shit several times, and you've been busted every time. Every time. Pat in Nashville is asking if any Finns fans are going to Tampa practice on the 11th. I wish I was there. NFL's still a good old boys club, so they will never force one of their own out. And as I said earlier, okay, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe? No, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Ross got busted also with the whole Flores thing. But the NFL said, oh, no, we didn't find anything on the Flores thing. And it was, mistaken. And he was joking and this and that. No, he did it. They know it. But that would look bad on the entire league that you're trying to lose. So since that's a slap on the entire league, they said, no. But, Steven, you know you're guilty for that. And you're guilty with tampering. So we're going to lay the law on you for tampering. You good with that? And then Stephen Ross figured out, like, yeah, I've been busted. Okay, go ahead. And then he releases his silly little statement to the public, but it doesn't mean anything. Deep down inside, we all know the NFL busted him for that. But they weren't going to allow Flo to have the pleasure of winning in that case. And they weren't going to make their league look bad. So they laid on the sword on that one. And they protected Ross from that one, but they served them up as gator bait for the rest. So the next time you're in a swamp and there's a bunch of gators coming at your canoe, you throw Stephen Ross right over. Okay? They'll start with the ears probably. 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. There's worse owners in pro sports. I'm more afraid of a Dolphins owner who won't spend, like Bruce Sherman. You mean a Marlins owner? Sir, Bruce Sherman doesn't mean anything because he doesn't do anything, so he doesn't matter. That's the thing with Bruce Sherman. That's where that changes. But it's way worse when your owner is costing you draft picks. He's not supposed to be part of the football decisions. Big O, I remember that it happened in 1970 when Shula came to the Dolphins. They were docked a first-round pick because the Colts accused him of tampering. Yes, but it was basically a trade for Shula. That's different. Back then, if you think about it, you gave up a first-round pick for Shula? Wow, you got ripped off. You know, when you really look at it. That's fine. Mickey Harrison had to give up something to get Pat Riley. You can do that. That's fine. This is different. Your football people are... I've already explained this. The football front office wanted Tua, and they wanted to keep building the way they're building. It was Flo that wanted Watson and the owners that wanted Brady. Not the guys of the front office. They wanted to keep going. And guess what? In the end, you kept going. You didn't have to do any of that shit. You didn't have to go for Watson and embarrass yourself. You didn't have to try to trade for Brady or whatever, make a move for Brady and get caught. Stupid. It's dumb. It's counterproductive. Big O, George is asking, Stephen Ross situation pisses me off big time. The guy spends endless amounts of money without hesitation, yet he can't keep from meddling. Yep. Jeremy says, Big O, 100% agree with you on Flores, and he should have told the NFL in 2019-20 with the tampering and the tanking, and Ross and Watson both got slapped down on the wrist. Exactly. Look, the disgusting part about Flo, who is such a phony, for 16 years he was with the biggest cheater in the history of the game. And so now all of a sudden he's got scruples. Get the F out of here, bro. Just get out of my face, Brian Flores. You're a phony piece of crap, dude. That's what you are. You're a phony piece of crap. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? All right, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the program. Essential Moving Experts, Sean Williams. And Sean, by the way, his business is in Daytona. Their moving services are all across the country. They will move you from across the state, county to county, city to city. You want to move your office anywhere you're at, not just in Florida, anywhere. Okay, you can call Essential Moving Experts. They know how to get it done. 844-368-5750. That's 844-368-5750. And mention my name, you get $150 off. Long distance office relocation. They can also store your goods too for up to a month. Flat rates, no surprise charges, safe and efficient loading and unloading practices all the time. I'm telling you, moving was never so easy, and he's a great Dolphins fan. He's up in Daytona. That's the home offices. But I'm telling you, Sean's actually going to be in town on Saturday because he's coming down for practice. I believe Friday or Saturday. I think it's Saturday, he told me. So I'm going to see Sean when he comes down on Saturday. But he's a great Dolphin fan, as you can see. You can see the billboard around me. The colors of the business are in Dolphin colors. So call Sean Williams and the great people at Essential Moving Experts, 844-368-5750. If you're thinking of moving, come on, man, use a fellow Fin fan and mention the Big O and you get $150 off. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Love it. Louis M. says, Austin Jackson is back, baby. I don't know about back, but he played well today. He looked good today. Had a nice game. Looking forward to seeing him again on Friday and Saturday, and hopefully we're going to watch improvement from this entire line. I saw Eichenberg whiff on one really bad that he gave up a sack. So, nothing is perfect, but you know how it is. Karen says, Big O, being an analytics guy, does YouTube provide analysis to you and Sean? Do you get more viewers in the morning or afternoons? Have you thought about moving the show in the afternoons permanently? Karen, you're just going off of this. It's football season. The last couple of months, we've had these numbers in the morning too, and bigger. We've gone over 1,000 in the morning. So, it's happened. So it's not one of those things. And I do it in the midday because I think it's better for me to do it in the midday. Okay. So that's probably why I'm doing it. Who knows? Maybe in the future we do the show earlier. Maybe we do the show later. I don't know. But because it's digital, that's the beauty of it. I sometimes have to remind Sean all the time that, well, should we do it now at this time? Hey, bro, we run it. We got to do whatever we got to do. And today we wanted to go to Dolphins camp. So that allows us to pick up some of the sound and share it with you guys and any of the highlights and obviously information over at camp. And please subscribe to our channel because Sean is constantly loading videos now from camp. And we'll be going also to Heat Camp when that rolls around and all that. So you're going to get a lot more on our YouTube channel, not just the show. So you'll get all that other stuff. We are slowly but surely growing. We talked about Preston Williams today, and Preston Williams complained about not getting an opportunity. We played the press conference for you from Preston Williams, and clearly, if you saw it, it's a guy that just does not get it. But the guy that had to deal with it also is the head coach, Mike McDaniel, because today everybody in the media was going to ask McDaniel about Preston Williams and other things. And they were also going to request to the PR department that they want to talk to Preston Williams. So Mike McDaniel had to address the Preston Williams situation. Now, let's hear the head coach address this and talk about the issue with Preston Williams and why, and how he is dealing with Preston's, I don't know, complaints, I guess. Sean, if you can, please pull up Mike McDaniel, and let's hear the reaction of the head coach on Preston Williams complaining about playing time. Give us a second here. Pulling it up. Might be able to pull it up myself here on this side if you want. Here we go.
I'm Preston with this tweet about just wanting an opportunity. What's your philosophy as a head coach? Do you say something to him and say this is not a good idea, or do you just let it slide? And does it affect how many passes you throw him in camp?
So, okay, there are the most pressing needs of the football team I don't necessarily see within social media. And you said, so I don't prioritize that necessarily. I do, however, prioritize and prioritize opportunities for players to follow their dreams. So and one of the things that Wes Welker and I strongly connect on from our journeys, which were the exact same. We were the same athlete, by the way. Is that we hold with a lot of esteem and responsibility preparing people and giving them opportunities, and it's also the really look at it to the players too, that they understand that every time they're on the field, the way we do things, it's a tremendous opportunity for them as well as their teammates who they're depending on to execute and operate at a high standard. So I wouldn't, people care, people want to do good. So I get that, and I don't really hold much weight to all that.
In other words, he's going to basically say, yeah, Preston can whine and bitch. He wants all he wants. He's not going to get what he wants. I don't care if he whines on. And Sean goes to me off the air. He goes, and I bet them allowing him to talk is kind of their way of saying, like, go ahead, kid, F you. Go ahead, keep burying yourself. I think Mike McDaniel is that coach that he's a player's coach, right? But I think he's the guy that he's not really going to be, hard ass man in your face and screaming at you and all that. It's like, if you're an idiot and you can't be reached, he's going to look at you and go, oh, okay. I got you. All right. No problem. We'll get it going. We'll figure it out. And then before you know it, here comes the Turk saying, I need your playbook. Whoa, I thought we were all right. Yeah, no, we're not all right, bro. I'm just not going to waste my time, Mike McDaniel here talking to you. I'm just not wasting my time, kid, to be arguing with you and trying to convince you to be a great player and this and that. I don't have time for that. Do you want to be great? Well, it's up to you to push yourself. Like all of us. Preston Williams is going to learn, and he's going to learn the hard way, that nobody gives you anything, dude. If you want it, you must take it. You know what? At times, I use myself as an example because I am just as human, as faulty as everybody else. I have my faults. I make my mistakes, all of that. Right? Well, I was fired from radio a couple years back. So it's the only real radio company that's left. Not that they really do radio anyways anymore, but whatever. So what am I supposed to do? Supposed to go cry in a corner somewhere? No. In fact, I wanted to leave and I wanted to start doing this because I see where the world is going and it ain't winning an 10 anymore. So I went out and took it. And we got Sean, and then we started adding Omar, we started adding Ira, we started adding, and so on and so forth. And we got, like 14 different people now. Oh, okay, so you think you make the rules at QAM? Fuck you. You don't make the rules. I make the rules. That's all. Trill Williams. Hey, kid, we've got our corners. We've got our slot. You know, you're a street kid. Come on out. We didn't draft you, whatever. Let's go, street free agent. You see Trill Williams complaining, bitching, pointing fingers? Trill Williams is doing the same thing I'm doing. Go take it from him. Don't point. Don't complain. Don't bitch. Go do something about it. Go perform. Make it impossible for them to cut you. Force them to elevate you. Force them to play you. That's the part that Preston Williams doesn't get. He doesn't understand that. Get in there, dude. Work out like a monster. Get in the best shape of your life. Apparently, he says he's 20 pounds lighter than he was last year. He's at 210 where he was at 230 last year. That's a start. But whining and complaining, you're a grown man, dude. You're not in high school anymore. You're in the pros. Be a pro. Take the world by the balls. If you don't take the world by the balls, it runs you over. But we have this society, this part of our society that feels entitled when you haven't earned anything. And Preston Williams, my brother, you had some flashes, you know, in your rookie year. That's all you've ever done. You flashed. You never have done anything consistently. You know what you have been you have been consistently? Inconsistent. So Mike McDaniel doesn't need this shit, dude. He's got to win. And Preston, did you get the message? He brought a couple of his guys on the back end for the receiving corps. He went and drafted a guy to be a number one next to his other number one. He then went and signed a top free agent to be a slot and then drafted a guy in the 4th round to replace the guy that they let go to New England. Do you see what's happening in front of you, Preston? So if you see it, then you knew, or you had to know, that if I was going to go to this camp with the Dolphins, it was going to be near impossible for me to make this team. But if I am going to make this team, I'm going to play better than anyone else on this team, including Tyreek Hill. That's how he has to think. Not that he will do it, but that's how he has to think. Instead, you're whining and complaining and waiting for your opportunity. Dude, they've given you opportunities. You're in this position. If you would have shined the last couple of years, instead of eating shit and dropping the football and getting injured, well, then guess what? You would have never been in this position. But you're in this position because we can't trust you. Just like we can't trust Stephen Ross, we can't trust Preston Williams. They're constant fuck-ups. Both of them, the owner and the receiver. It's what you are. It's your label. If you want to shed it, well, then do something about it. It's too late for Stephen Ross. He's 80 years old. He made his bed. He's laying in it. It's done. Preston, plenty of time for you, my man. Figure it out, dude. The good Lord blessed you with a lot of talent. As the great Tony Montana would say, get your head out of your culo. and get it going, dude. Anthony Campos says, Big O, is this going to be the new time slot or always at 10 a.m.? Wishing you the best. God bless. Normally 10 a.m. When we do, for the 4,000th time, when we go to practice in the morning, we've got to do an afternoon show because I can't go to practice and do the show at the same time. So we're doing an afternoon show like we did last week, like we did on Saturday when we went to the morning practice, we did an afternoon show. Okay? So there you go. What did Preston say? I missed it. Rewind. Let's see. He has enough tape to get a look somewhere else, but not many more chances for him. I believe no one wanted him. That's why he signed here. He didn't sign here. When he told me today, because I like competition, that's a lie. I'm calling complete BS on that statement by Preston Williams. That's a lie. He didn't have anywhere to go. He was Richard Gere, an Officer and a Gentleman. I got nowhere else to go. He walked into Chris Greer. Can I have a contract? Well, we're kind of loaded, and I got nowhere else to go. And so then Chris Greer gave him a contract. That's all. That's what happened. I like competition. Come on, man. You got the dumbest agent in the world that allows you to sign a contract in Miami after they've done everything that they've done. A smart agent grabs Preston and says, Preston, I get it. You've been here a couple of years. You have no shot at making that team. Look what they've done. I need to find you another home. Problem is, there was no other home. Can somebody find out for me who Preston Williams' agent is? Just Google, and it might be in an article somewhere. Please tell me who it is. That's what I'd like to know. Because that agent, Lamar Jackson, is his agent. That's a good one, Frankie. That's a good one, dude. I think X has figured it out. He plays not to get injured, which looks bad, but not in the long run. It may be better. I think just X plays. He's just had some bad luck with injuries. I don't think anything like that. Wasn't Preston a personal favorite of yours? I loved him. Yeah, when I saw him, I mean, he wasn't a one of mine's like before the draft, like, oh, you guys got to see it. No, I was like everybody else. That rookie training camp and all that stuff, he like was shining. We're like, holy crap, who is this guy? How can you not like him? But after everything, you look after every year, there's nothing to like after that. Everybody loved Preston Williams' rookie year because you saw the talent, but he has teased us over and over and over again, and it's enough already, my man. You know what I mean? I'm lying in bed, and here comes Halle Berry. Hi-oh, would you like me to join you? And all of a sudden, I'm getting a little excited, and then she walks away. Jennifer Aniston walks in. Hey-oh, would you like me to join you? I'm getting excited. She walks away. So every once in a while, I see something really hot, and then it walks away. And it's like, yo, Preston, come on. Stop doing this to me. That's the problem with Preston Williams. He's been just a big-ass tease since that rookie year. And that's all we've done since that rookie year. We keep waiting for that rookie year. And that's our problem. You know, like that person that lives in the past, the guy that was, I don't know, I guess captain in his high school football team. And you know, he's at the high school reunion 25 years later, and he's still bragging about that because that was the peak of his life. That's Dolphin fans waiting for Preston Williams. the peak of his life was that rookie year, and we keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and it just doesn't surface. And the worst part is the light doesn't go on internally. And in the end, that goes for any walk of life. I don't care if you want to be a reporter. I don't care if you want to be a chef. I don't care if you want to be a teacher, a police officer, a lawyer, whatever it is you want to be. If you don't have the fire or desire to be great at what you want to be, you're not going to succeed. And that's what, as I said earlier, look at Trill Williams. Nobody's giving him anything, and he's taking it all. He gets it. Preston doesn't get it. He's been given everything, every opportunity possible, and he's blown it. That's his problem. Our number 3 is next. Cameron Wolfe and our KSDT CPA Miami Dolphins and NFL report is next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolfe. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolfe.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Cameron Wolfe. And what a day. No news going on, Dolphins. Yes, fantastic. All right, before we get to Stephen Ross, who is Preston Williams' agent?
He has a Colorado-based agent for Wasserman's Group. Let me think of his name. He's based out of Colorado. He repped him since he left Colorado State. I've chatted with him before.
Is it Wasserman?
Yeah, it is Wasserman. He's with Wasserman.
Okay. Oh,
yes,
no, but is it?
No, it's not Wasserman.
No, it's not Wasserman.
No, he has a rep that's within the Wasserman Group that's not Wasserman.
Because I asked him today, I asked him today about this. I lost you there.
Yeah, CJ LeBoy, I believe, is Preston Williams' agent. Yeah.
All right, so I asked him today. I said, Preston, they drafted a wide receiver. They signed 2 of them in free agency. They traded for one. Like, why did you think that this was the right place? And he said he liked competition. I gotta say, he had no offers, and the Dolphins were the only one because the Dolphins didn't tender him, so that means they didn't want him back, really, in a way. And they built McDaniel built this team the way he wanted, and then I almost feel like they gave him a contract just because, it's training camp fodder, one more in there. And I have a hard time understanding that his agent was not smart enough to see the writing on the wall. So that tells me that he really had no offers and he had to kind of settle for the Dolphins. What do you think about?
So he accepted less than what his tender would have been, more than what the minimum contract would have been. So I think you're right in that it gives me the indication. I don't know this for sure, but it gives me the indication that he probably didn't have a lot of better offers more than the minimum. And so the Dolphins gave him an opportunity to make a little bit more, get an opportunity to compete. And maybe he didn't expect as much additions as they made in the receiving group this year. But, that's the reality of it. You add a Tyreek Hill to go with Jalen Waddle, with Cedric Wilson, then all of a sudden you're competing for number 2 team reps. Like, you're not going to get any first team reps. You're going to get number 2 team reps or number 3 team reps. And your job is to convince them that you deserve to be on the number 2 team at minimum, and maybe some reps on the 1. So yeah, I think that, to me, you gotta take advantage of what you're given, what opportunities you're given. Like, I'd love to be the main NFL Network person who's on TV all day, every day. I'm not there. I got to maximize my reps. They give me 7 minutes of TV. I got to make those the best 7 minutes of TV all show. I can't be sitting there. Why don't I get 17 minutes? Why don't I get 27 minutes like somebody else? You got to maximize your time. And so that's my issue with Preston kind of making a statement. I usually don't have problems with players expressing what they feel and if they got any issue with it. But for Preston, it just kind of feels like, you've been on bad teams for a while and you've become the starter mostly out of lack of depth. So now that they have depth, you have an issue with it. That's just not the way this league works. And so he's competing with a group of guys. You're competing with the Braylon Sanders. You're competing with the Lynn Bowden. You're competing with a Trent Sherfield. Like, he could make this team. He just has the mindset to do it, and this does not help. Like, whether McDaniel says it or not, you hear your receiver complaining about reps. Do you want that guy to be your number 5 receiver if he's complaining in training camp about reps? He's not going to get reps in the season. Your number 5 receiver doesn't get those reps. And so unless he's going to become their main returner, I think this is just a sign that this may be the end of Preston Williams in Miami.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. All right, let's get to the pressing news. I'm feeling good. I'm watching camp. Tua looks good. Austin Jackson had a good day. I'm like, wow. And then we get the news, 3/4 of the way through practice that the Dolphins are fined a first-round pick next year, a third-round pick the following year, and whatever the money for Stephen Ross, and Bruce Beal also suspended for the whole year. Your thoughts on this? Because for me, the part that bothers me about all of this is Flo wanted Watson, not Greer, not Allen, and not McKenzie. Beal and Ross are the ones that wanted Brady, not Greer, not Allen, not McKenzie. And so the people you hired to do their job, you're not allowing them to do their job, and you have everybody else trying to get in the way and create all this mess. You know what I mean? And I hate when they say, well, they're trying to replace Tua. Well, actually, the people that draft really didn't want to replace Tua. It's other people that wanted to replace Tua throughout this whole thing. And now listen, if you wanted Brady, let's call it like we see it here. You would have had to trade picks for Brady. Then you would have been caught for tampering like you have now. You would have had to give up more picks. And now that Brady's on your team, the tampering would have been official, so they would have suspended Brady and Don Yee. I know they didn't suspend them now because this is bad for the league to do that. Plus, Don Yee and Brady can act stupid and say, well, we were just going on that boat because it was a party. We had no idea that they were going to approach us for a contract. So they can act stupid and get away with it. So I understand what the league did here to circumvent the Flo thing. They went after him this way. But in the end, if you really were going to get Brady, you would have had to give up a bunch of picks. And now you see you would have gotten busted for tampering, and Brady would have been suspended. The other way with Watson, you would have given up a whole bunch of picks and then also a suspension. Nothing that this front office wanted to really do. And now this front office loses out on a first and a third, and they have done a marvelous job, I think, overall of drafting, keeping themselves flexible in the salary cap, and keeping themselves flexible draft-wise. And here you got your owner cock-blocking them. Thoughts?
Yeah, there's not really a way to put this positive. Like, regardless of how Stephen Ross and the Dolphins take it, the NFL called this one of the most egregious acts of tampering that they've seen. And you're not only tampering with the quarterback, you're tampering with the coach as well. And it's honestly just a lie from what the Dolphins have told us all offseason. Like, I sat there with Chris Greer at the combine as he told us, "Oh, we requested permission for the Saints for Sean Payton, and they denied us, and that was that, and that was the end."
Well,
Well,
Chris is just covering his ass because he has to cover for them. Because this is not Chris Greer's problem. I don't believe any of those three guys have anything to do with all this buffoonery that's been going on. To be quite honest,
but I have issues with getting lied to, and so to me, that's an issue to me. And whether you're covering for Steve Ross or whatever it is, you're lying, and you sat in front of us and lied to us to our face. And the other element, like we talk about the Flores thing, I think one thing that's going to be a thing there, because it's not over yet. They're still going through the legal case portion of that. This solves the NFL discipline portion of it. But it was interesting to me that the arbitrator essentially said that, hey, there were some things said about draft picks being more important than winning, but he might have been joking. So how we all joke sometimes.
Yeah. But with the problem with Stephen Ross is he has Harbaugh in his history, so he cannot be trusted, and he has no credibility when it comes to this. Unfortunately, you've earned this, Stephen Ross, because it's a constant thing. You've done this over and over. If I'm not going to believe a player who tells me, oh, he stopped drinking or stopped doing drugs or whatever, and we call it BS, well, we have to do this. We have to treat them the same way too. So if you're a constant violator, this isn't something that is, oh, you just did it one time. No, you've done this already a couple of times. And by the way, thank the Lord he got into real estate, because if he wanted to be a criminal, he'd be a shitty criminal. Okay.
Yeah, and it sucks for Dolphins fans, because there was so much talk and optimism about this season and focus on football. I was actually remarking to somebody at practice, and maybe I jinxed it, but I'm like, man, it's weird to be here and all the focus is on football. All the focus is on, does Tyreek and Tua work out, and not is Tua, going to get replaced by Deshaun Watson, or if this is going to happen, or if that's going to happen. And then this happens.
15 minutes. Listen to me. 15 minutes before the news broke. I'm at the top row. I'm sitting up there with Travis Wingfield. And so he and I are going over, and obviously me being old, I go to him, dude, when they had Duper and Clayton, they had these two speed guys at the top. And they weren't just speed guys. They also had cutting ability too. And these two guys actually are better cutters, I believe, than both those guys, Duper and Clayton. As good as Duper and Clayton were, these guys can stop on a dime. And we were talking about how the free safety has to make a commitment on every down to one of those guys, to one side. He can't worry about Gesicki and Cedric. He can't worry so much about the middle of the field so much, because he's got to worry about the two monsters on the outside. So we're talking X's and O's, and we're getting we're getting kind of excited playing the chess game and all that stuff. And then boom, here comes this. Because we're watching these guys on the field, and we're watching Tyreek and Waddle fly all over the place, and it's impossible to find two corners that are going to stay with those kind of guys. Plus a safety has to worry about. Now we have to talk about this. And that's exactly what Joe Rose was there with me. So it's Bo Kemper. And we were talking about this, that now we go away from football and we got to get back to talking about this kind of crap instead of talking about, wow, dude, this actually looks like a really good team on the field right now.
Right. I mean, and honestly, it's the owner's doing. It's not even like, a lot of times you blame the media. Oh, well, the media makes this is not a media-driven story. This is something that a judge said actually happened. Like, the Tom Brady meetings. You have Tom Brady meetings in 2019 and 2021. You have meetings with an agent about Brady and Sean Payton in 2021 and 2022. How does Mike McDaniel feel about that? Like, maybe he doesn't bother him, but he clearly wasn't your first choice if you're talking about Sean Payton out the wazoo and trying to pair him with Brady. So to me, it adds a lot of unnecessary elements there, but it's their own doing. And so, as everything involving this league, I'm glad when stuff gets uncovered that should be uncovered. But for Dolphins fans, it's not a good day. It's not a good day at all. And this is not going away. Like I said, I know I'm coming back to Miami tomorrow, and first thing they ask me is, can you come on tomorrow and talk about this Raw stuff? And so I'm going to spend all my day tomorrow. I was supposed to be going to Vegas. I had a trip to Vegas planned for a conference and some work stuff from Wednesday to Saturday. And so I got to delay it till Thursday.
Why not force them to sell as punishment? Why punish the front office and the players who are really going to pay the price for the first, and the fans for the first and the third rounder? Because the owner is the owner. It's, whatever, bro. But why not force them both? And let me tell you something. Bruce Beal, who got a longer suspension because obviously his ties to Brady, this is not good for the future either, because we have the same goofball type owners. Both guys don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're willing to put their team at risk.
Yeah, it's so hard. So it's so hard to convince an owner to sell or force an owner to sell.
I know.
Like, we even seen it in Washington. Washington's had egregious, sexual misconduct allegations, and Dan Snyder, is somewhere on a yacht somewhere trying not to go to court. Like whatever's going on there, and there hasn't been any chance that he's been forced to sell the team, and so, it's a old boys club, and if you force one owner to sell a team, then you could be next. And I think that's the mindset that a lot of the owners probably have, that, we're that's last case resort for us. So
yeah, you got to be Marge Schott, right? It's got to be like this Donald Sterling type of racist. It's got to be something so hate-filled or whatever that, okay, yeah, we have to get rid of you. Like, we have no choice. You're terrible for business, period, overall. So yeah, once you can affect, in other words, you've got to be so bad that you affect their bottom line, basically.
Right.
And so that's it. Yeah. And Marge Schott and Donald Sterling were basically going to affect their bottom line, because you were having a openly racist owner in your group. Yeah, that doesn't fly.
Right. And so for the Dolphins, obviously a first and third round pick, that hurts a lot.
Oh.
For Ross, $1.5 million, like, it's a slap on the wrist for him. Not being around the team till mid-October. He lives in New York. I'm not sure how often he was going to be around the team. Maybe 2 or 3 times. Maybe. Yeah. And so, like, in the ideal of Ross punishment, I don't know that there's much significance in what he was given. The Dolphins, yes, the team, the draft picks, that's significant in that ilk. But I think the bigger punishment is on the brand of the Dolphins, the draft picks, than it is more on Ross, the guy who's actually the guy who did the allegations.
Yeah, I would say to Stephen Ross, disappear, my brother. Don't even show up here ever again. Just own the team and move away. Just leave us alone. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf. Catch his work there at the NFL Network. And you, sir, have a safe flight back. I will see you later on in the week. I'll be out at practice on Friday and Saturday. So looking forward to it.
All right. Well, I will be out there tomorrow reporting on Ross, but I will be out there, and then I will be going to Vegas. But I'll chat with you Friday from Vegas. Just don't call me too early.
Oh, Vegas.
Just don't call me too early.
By the way, take a canoe, because you might need it to go from hotel to hotel. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Like an inflatable canoe, okay?
Right.
All right, just in case.
Yep.
All right, be careful out there, my brother. Appreciate you.
All right, sounds good. All right,
you got it. There you go, Cameron Wolf, and our KSDT CPA NFL and Miami Dolphins report.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
KSDT, baby, America, one of America's best accounting firms and America's best tax firms. And by the way, whether it's advisory, tax, they do everything from estate and gift tax planning, international taxation, personal financing, assurance. They do it all. Accounting services, assurance. They will take care of you. I'm telling you, it's not just your taxes. They do a lot more. If you're buying a business and you want to make sure that business is producing the kind of money that they say, have them evaluate it, and they'll tell you if it's producing and if it's worth it. They can do those kind of things. Hey, listen, you want to set yourself up for retirement. You need to plan ahead. KSDT CPAs can set you up also with all of that. 305-670-3370. That's 305-670-3370. 3370 for KSDT CPAs. All right. There you go. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, Jordan Poyer suffered an elbow injury in practice. He's going to have an MRI. I saw this earlier. I don't know if it's been updated, but remember, they've got already one guy that is already going to be out probably for the Dolphin game. I don't know how serious this Jordan Poyer elbow injury is, but if it is, that's another thing that they could be missing for that game against the Dolphins. And if you're going to be missing people in the secondary against that wide receiving core, I like that. I like that a lot. I just want you to know. Okay? Definitely. And remember, you can reach out to us many ways. 855-912-1056 is the Welton Realm text line. You got the YouTube chat board there. You got the super chat. I see EM Baller is sending in a super chat. You can also send us a donation through Cash App or Venmo. The address is Cash Big O Show. And you can make even a Bitcoin donation on Cash App at Cash Big O Show. TJ Gallagher today made a donation by Bitcoin. I like it. EM Baller, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, Ross wasn't punished. Greer and the fans were. Anybody going to argue with EM? That's a baller type line right there. That's a baller line right there. That's a man with the edge. He must have an edge energy drink in his hand while he's doing that. Because he's right. Ross doesn't pay anything. We're the ones that suffer. He's got his money. We love the team. We follow the team. We're the ones that care about the team on a daily basis. And most of us actually know more football than Ross ever will. I mean, it is embarrassing that he cost him picks. Jesse M. Big O, did Gaskins have the edge energy drink in today's practice? Nah. Gaskin is... It's going to be hard for him, man, at this point. He needs injuries. I don't think he's going to get much playing time. I don't even know if he makes the team. I really don't. Chase looks really good. Mostert knows this system really, really well. And then the Georgia kid, the local kid, what's his name now? I'm forgetting the New England. Sony Michel. He's a short yardage guy, the bigger back. I don't know, man. I don't know if Gaskin will make it here. I really don't. Let's see. Maybe KSDT should talk to Preston. I don't think even KSDT can save Preston. Another one from EM Baller. Wow, he says, no, I got a bang, but we'll order Edge, no doubt. Thank you, sir. myedgedrink.com. Make sure you use my code Big O to get 10% off. And you can order it anywhere you're at. You got to order it online at myedgedrink.com. All right. Big O, have you seen this ambidextrous QB being scouted by college teams? Supposedly he can throw well with both hands, which could be quite advantageous. Mickey Gow. I have no idea, Brett. An ambidextrous quarterback. That is pretty awesome. I'd like to see it myself if he can throw it equally the same. You know what I mean? Because normally all of us, we have one arm that's a little stronger than the other. But then again, maybe he's been working out equally, and so maybe he can do it. I don't know. It's possible, right? I got to tell you, I never really expected anybody to do what Shohei Ohtani is doing. So this is possible right here. Big O, Teddy has not practiced recently and barely has had any snaps. Any concerns? No, he had snaps today. Listen, guys, I like Teddy Bridgewater, the person. I think he's a fantastic backup. If he's a starter, he's a very mediocre starter. He has always been a very mediocre starter. He's in the bottom third of the league. He'll never be any better than that because the Lord did not bless him with the abilities that he needs to actually become really good. He is Ken Dorsey. It's the same thing, dude. He's got just enough talent to make some throws. He's got a brain that is elite, because that's what Teddy has. That's why Teddy has survived, because Teddy's incredibly intelligent. And if you're intelligent as a quarterback, you can. It's like the guy that coaches the Cowboys. The guy had a noodle arm for the NFL, and he survived a couple of years. Ty Detmer didn't have much of an arm, and he survived. Certain guys can survive because they're crafty and they're smart. But in the end, they're not going to do anything. So if listen to me. If Tua goes down, the season is over. Over. Teddy Bridgewater is not bailing you out of anything. Teddy Bridgewater is only good enough to facilitate on his best day. And in order for him to have big-time success, he would have to have a monstrous and dominating team that all he has to do is facilitate. A team that can keep him clean, a team that can dominate with the running game, big receivers, all those kind of things, dominant defense. That's, he has to play with the steel curtain, and he has to play with the Bucks of the early 2000s or the Ravens or something. Even the Ravens didn't have great offense, but whatever. If Tua goes down, the season is done. Okay? I love Teddy Bridgewater. Great person. He's a backup quarterback, and he'll never get you anywhere as a starting quarterback. So please stop with the mental masturbations. Please stop thinking that Teddy will be starting or taking Tua's job, because some of you effing idiots think that. Please stop thinking that Teddy Bridgewater, if he comes off the bench, he's going to save your season. He will not save your season or any season whatsoever, because he never has, and he never will. Some people down here have a hard time understanding the truth because he's such a great young man and because he's a local kid. So they can't come to the realization that he's not talented enough to be a really good quarterback in this league. So please stop with the Teddy Bridgewater bullshit. He's a fantastic backup, nothing more than that. It's about Tua. It's all about Tua. And the only guy that can win a title on this team is Tua. Period. End of story. The only guy that's going to get you to the playoffs is Tua. The only guy that could win a game in the playoffs is Tua. Not Teddy and not anybody else. Okay? That's on this team. So let's just let it go already. Let it go. I get it. He's an awesome human being. But you got to call it like you see it. Go look at his stats. Never have been impressive, ever. Pedestrian at best. Let's see. In other words, the offensive line must be the wall of Montezuma. Exactly. Got to be the Dallas line of the 90s, the Dolphins line in the early 70s. It's just got to be one of those kind of offensive lines that they were dominant and you can't do anything about it. And yeah, you can get by with him. Even that, you may not win it all. Big O, can't believe that people still want Teddy to start. Well, it's because they don't really understand the quarterback position. That's why they do that. Just like the people that go after Tua, I think, you don't really get it. Because you're too in love with, oh, no, the guy's got to be 6'5" and throw 150 miles an hour and throw it out of the stadium. If he can't do that, there's no way he can be a great quarterback. And it's the dumbest thing in the world. So, Are we on JC Treader watch yet? Jesse, I'm glad you brought that up because I was talking with some of the guys today, and I said by next week, because there were some bad snaps again today. The third quarterback, by the way, he is terrible with getting under center. So some of it is his fault. But with the other guys, with Tua and Teddy, I've seen high snaps by Connor. Here's what I would tell you. By next week, if Connor Williams has not fine-tuned it, yeah, I'm starting to search for somebody. Yes. Yeah, you can't keep waiting. It's got to get better. It's got to be consistent. And there's too much of this. And it disrupts the play for a millisecond, and it forces your quarterback to kind of recheck himself quickly and back to where he was. Luckily, if you're a smart quarterback and you know the playbook really well, as you're doing that, you already know what's developing right from the get-go because you know exactly what's going on. And if you looked at the coverages right prior to the snap, you're kind of going to know where you got to go anyway. You know what I mean? And I think Tua in that case will know some, but still, you don't want to make it that much harder on your quarterback. And Connor Williams is making it harder on his quarterback by not snapping it clean. So I would answer to you that, yes, we are on center watch sometime in the middle of next week to late next week if this continues. You have to. They're going to practice tomorrow. They're off Thursday. Then they're back at it Friday and Saturday. Probably, I think they might be off Sunday. And then you're back at it. And then into the middle of next week, if you're having issues still, yeah, I think you've got to do something about it. Justin Scheib, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. He says, worst part of all of this Ross crap is Tua will not want to re-sign with this organization with all the crap they have put through with the other QBs. I don't agree with you there, Justin, because in the end, can I say something here that might be, I know most of you, a lot of you like to tune in and hear ripping and negativity and all that kind of stuff. And I can do my share of ripping, but let me give you can I give you the bright side of all of this? Can we get a little positive here, ladies and gentlemen? Will the Dolphin Nation allow me to be positive about the worst situation that happened today with Stephen Ross? Can I get positive now? Can you give me an amen out there and give me a thumbs up too, by the way, please? Are you ready for this? Here's the good part about this. Stephen Ross finally got caught, busted, made his mistake, embarrassed thoroughly. Maybe, just maybe, he has learned his lesson. He will shut up and move on. And maybe, just maybe now, Bruce Beal and Stephen Ross can shut the hell up, get out of the way, and let the football people take over. And let the football people make the football decisions. And if that's what's going to happen from here on out, because Tua deals with Mike McDaniel every day, he gets to deal with Chris Greer. He gets to deal with Marvin Allen. He gets to deal with Reggie McKenzie. So he likes maybe the football people that are around him. It's the football people that wanted him. These football people did not want to trade him out. They're not the ones that wanted Watson. They're not the ones that wanted Brady. You see what I'm saying? They're not the ones that wanted Sean Payton. Why would Chris Greer want Sean Payton? He would lose power. No. Why would he want to bring in Brady? Brady would then cock block him and want to bring and do whatever he wants. No. See what I'm saying? So the good thing for Tua and for us as fans is that maybe now this is the final kibosh that sends Ross to the sidelines and like, okay, stay away. And people can now say, hey, no more meddling. You already cost the team, right? So this is terrible to watch the Dolphins, after Chris Greer's hard work, lose one of his first rounders, lose one of his third rounders, put him at a deficit. But maybe, just maybe, since those guys aren't at fault, and neither is Mike McDaniel, and neither is Tua, maybe now they'll be left alone to move on. And if they all have success, then they can stay together and they can move on, because even if new ownership takes over, they're not going to break up something that's working. And Tua still has 3 more seasons. This year's his 3rd, still has next year's 4th, and the 5th year is coming, so they can lock him in. I have no problem. I have no concerns. The positive spin I would have of this is that maybe this is the hammer that drives the nail through, and that's it. And Ross never meddles again with the team and stays away because he learned his lesson, because he cost his team a 1st and 3rd. And by the way, we're going to talk about this story with Ross now. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? When Sean Stanley and I are probably either in Vegas, I don't know, do we go to Detroit this year? No, right? Maybe Vegas. So wherever we're at for the NFL draft, Stephen Ross is going to come up, because we're going to say that pick should have been Miami's. Here's where Miami would have picked if it wasn't for Stephen Ross's, So this is going to go on. And then 2 years later, we're going to miss out on a 3rd rounder, and Stephen Ross will be brought up again. This is something that's going to linger for a long time for Stephen Ross. It's bad for all of us early on. Maybe it's good for us in the long term. Maybe, just maybe, we've gotten rid of Stephen Ross and meddling with Jim Harbaugh and all the other stupid moves he's done over the years. There's the bright side to all of it. Okay? Cross our fingers. Let's hope that that's the case. Okay? Perfect Q says, holy moly, Big O is still on. Yeah, Perfect Q. Bro, we've been on since 10 a.m. We've been on for 7.5 hours. Where have you been, dude? 7.5 hours. We started at 10 a.m. What's wrong with you? Come on, slacker. Richard says, I could not root for the Dolphins if Brady was the Finns QB. Too weird for me. Greer's smart enough to have extra 1st in this draft, so we still got a 1st. Yeah, I just wish we had 2. You know why I want the 2nd? Because I know he would have traded that second 1st to go get more and turn it into more picks, because that's what he keeps doing. And I would. And by the way, let me give you a little nugget here, also a little preview of the draft in 2023. If the Dolphins go out and kick ass this year, they will trade that 1st rounder for multiple picks. I bet you your ass on that. Bet you anything you want, baby. Bet your ass on it. It's going to happen because it'll be in the late 20s. Why take it? Let somebody move up from the 2nd round, give you a couple of picks, one in that draft, one in the next draft, or a couple or whatever. You know how Chris Greer works. He makes trades and bamboozles people. That's what will happen. Obviously, if they suck, which is not going to happen, and it's a high pick, they can keep it. But if it's which I expect it, a back end pick in the 1st round, it'll get traded for extra picks to make up for that moron who cost him a couple picks. At age 80, I think he's afraid he'll die without ever seeing a team in the playoff game. Well, he's doing his best to screw his own team over. So. You make too much sense. You're hurting the haters' brains. Oh, man. But I am psyched to watch Mike McDaniel coach this team. I am. James is asking, how come Brady gets no punishment? I've already said it, but I'll repeat it quickly. You know why, James? Because the owners did not want to punish Ross for that, because then the whole league looks bad that a team was trying to tank, because then it goes on to the whole league. All right, who else is going to try to tank? And then it becomes a thing. So since they busted him in tanking and they busted him with the tampering, they said, hey, Steven, listen, we know you got busted in this, but we're going to crush you over here because we can't crush you here because it would hurt all of us. So we're going to fine you here. We're going to heavily take picks away from you on this side, and you will take it and move on. And you can release your own silly little statement, whatever you want, but this is what's going to happen because we've got to protect the other owners. And that's all. And then as for Brady and Yee, They don't get in trouble. Do you know why? They acted just as stupid. What do you mean? I wasn't there to meet the Dolphins. We were there for a party on the boat. We had no idea the Dolphins were. We don't know anything about that. That's it. So unless you have a text or something from Don Yee or Brady, oh yeah, we're looking forward to meeting you guys and talking business, and maybe we can get Brady traded over. What? Unless you have that, Brady and Yee can act completely stupid and say, and that's what happens. And whenever they ask Brady, hey man, I was just going on a boat. I had no idea that was going to go on. That's it, man. That's all. I wasn't born yesterday, bro. They busted him on everything, just like they did with Harbaugh. So they can bust an owner in tampering, but can't do anything about Robert Kraft and his rub and tugs. Yeah, no. Remember, you can tamper. You can't tamper with players, but you can tamper with women. That's the slogan in the NFL. Okay. Ross should have taken all the massages he could with Watson and Kraft rather than meddling with his team. I'm with you. He should get it massaged. We should all get it massaged. There's nothing wrong with that. At least we've been lucky with Cowboys losing James Washington 6 to 10 weeks with a fractured right foot. Maurice Hurst, the 49ers, placed him torn biceps, season-ending IR. They signed Akeem Spence, by the way, a former Dolphin. We've been fortunate in that sense, at least. That has kind of helped us out. How about the Knicks? They're being investigated for Jalen Brunson now for tampering. Oh, Lordy. Lordy. What can I tell you? Do want to tell you about redrecover.com, a proud sponsor of our program. I use it every day. I use it for pain management. My right shoulder feels so much better now. I've got so much movement now. It is way better, folks. And I'm telling you, when it comes to redrecover.com, it promotes faster muscle recovery following your workouts. It expedites healing time from sprains and strains. And listen, this is all natural, no medication whatsoever, no side effects, no nothing. Red light therapy is just an absolute medical breakthrough. Whether it's healing wounds, we're going to show you some before and after pictures of people that have wounds from surgeries, and then they use a red light therapy, how it helps make the scar disappear. I'm helping my hair grow. People are using it like Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, tight end for the Bengals. He uses Red Recover as part of his daily recovery program to optimize performance on Sundays. You can check out his testimonials, his video blogs at redrecover.com. Listen, you're a weekend athlete. You're just hanging around, just living life, and sometimes you wear down a little bit, or you're an athlete. Listen, you're looking for recovery, maybe an old injury. Maybe you're like Sean. He's got one knee that is bone on bone, and he uses the red light therapy to ease the pain and the discomfort, get the blood flow going to feel a lot better. That's the other thing that does. It gets the blood flow going, helping the healing process too. Go to redrecover.com, read the blogs, check out the video blogs, use my code Big O so you can get 10% off, whether it's the hat or anything else for your elbow, shoulders, back, knee, neck, ankle. They've got wraps for everything. They got wraps for the dogs too. redrecover.com. Try to live your life pain-free. Man, let's go. Let's avoid it. redrecover.com. Use our code Big O to get 10% off. All right. What else do we have? I did lose that video. I had it before, but I got rid of it. Did you guys catch Tony La Russa falling asleep in the dugout in the first inning? I saw that, and that was hilarious, dude. And obviously, that guy's got, his alcohol issues. So that's one dude that, La Russa for me is one of those guys, like, it's shameful that they rehired him. It really is. Maybe we'll have some fun with it tomorrow on the show. Big O, what do you think of Tiger Woods not accepting close to $800 million to play for the Live Tour? I guess he doesn't want to play for the Saudis. I mean, with everything with 9/11 and all of that, it's not. He's made plenty of money. He's had already bad pub. I don't know if you want to tie yourself. Oh, you got it. I don't know if you want to tie yourself with, that tour. So I commend him for not doing it. Okay. The Saudis are just playing this game, dude. They were harboring all of those terrorists, and for people to just look the other way, it's disgusting. You know what I mean? I get the guy with the orange hair because he's just, he's a piece of shit. So what are you going to do? That guy's just terrible. He just cares about himself. He doesn't care about anybody. Never has. And I get a lot of you got suckered by him, but and you're seeing now. Hopefully you're smart enough to figure it out and see the true colors. But yeah, the Saudi thing is just, it's gross. It's disgusting. So I commend Tiger. He's got enough money. Okay. And they're just trying to gain PR here from all of this. And we should not be the country that gives them any kind of a break whatsoever. I get when you're trying to deal with them to try to, work your way around terrorism in that part of the world. But to literally take money from them and to support them, I commend Tiger. I think it's shameful that all those people are playing on that tour, to be quite honest. All right, I'm sorry, Sean. Bring it back up again. Show them La Russa falling asleep, because I had to answer that. There we go. Wait a minute. What? Hey, man, listen, maybe, La Russa had a little drinky winky before the game. He had a couple drinks, and now it's kind of this is a guy that falls asleep in the middle of a traffic light. I mean, La Russa is a real piece of, what? Josh Miller, totally agree. The Live Tour is, we're Americans, dude. I mean, how can we accept that? They're trying to buy us after killing many of us and harboring these animals. No, dude. You can't be forgiving of these kind of people. You don't. Sorry does not work in this moment. And that's kind of what they're trying to do. Here, sorry. Is it enough money? Oh, you need more. Oh, okay, here's more. Sorry. Can we get into your good graces? Let's go green so oil doesn't become a power for them anymore. Oh, Big O, how did the D look today? Linebacking core. I thought they did a pretty good job overall, man. Team looked good today. It was fun to watch. Jalen Phillips looks really good. Sealer looked good today. Here was his playlist that we had today. I like the Preston Williams kid. He's doing a nice job overall. Man, I feel good about our team. I really do. I feel really good about the Dolphins. I like this coach. I think it's going to be a blast to watch this offense out there on the field. I think they can do so many things to create so many mismatches out there that I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I talked about this earlier when you had Duper and Clayton, and for those of us that are old enough, and you had those guys terrorizing, the middle of the field was so wide open for all the tight ends. And then whoever it was, Nat Moore, Drew Harris, whoever it was, and then you had Tony Nathan and others coming, catching passes out of the backfield. And I see the same thing. I'm sitting there watching it today, and I am getting just excited because I'm wondering, okay, so how are two corners going to stay with Hill and Waddle? So last year, Waddle was the only receiver on the team from the slot position. You knew he was getting the ball, and you still couldn't stop it. No matter what, you knew he was getting it. And he got it over 100 and some times. So now there will be very little double teams because they'll worry more about Tyreek. The free safety must make a commitment to somebody. Hill or Waddle. It ain't going to be Gesicki. It ain't going to be Cedric Wilson. So all of a sudden, I'm looking at this going, the middle of the field is going to be wide open because the free safety has to stay center field. He has to stay John Fogerty all the way because he's got to wait for Hill or Waddle to blow past their corners. So then the middle of the field is going to be a nice chunk that's open. Cedric Wilson is a big corner. Ezukama has looked fantastic the last couple of days. He's making fade patterns. He ran a 9 route today, got behind the DBs. For those of you that went, you know what I'm talking about. So all of a sudden now, Ezukama's a big kid. Cedric Wilson's a big kid. Gesicki's a big kid. Those guys are working the middle of the field. And then you've got Mostert and you got Chase coming out of the backfield with that speed. Holy shit. This is going to be fun. I don't know how you design a defense that stops that much speed on the field. And I'll tell you something. When you go, you'll notice this. There's not a lot of Cedric Wilson. I got to tell you something. I think that's by design. I think they've seen enough of Cedric that they're like, yeah, we're going to kind of hide him a little bit because everybody knows about Waddle and Hill, but we're going to surprise you with Cedric in the middle of the field. I just get that feeling. This is going to be fun to watch. Brett says even Ingold. Yes, Ingold as a receiver, a blocker. Oh, man, that is so good to have that as a safety valve for Tua. So good, man. So good to have something like that. Yeah. I really like what they've got going on offense. I think it makes a crap ton of sense, to be quite honest with you. EJD Construction, a proud sponsor of our program for many years now. 305-433-4843. They're rebuilding the wall in our house once we get everything done. They do a great job. And folks, let me tell you something. If you're looking for custom home construction and major home remodeling, I'm not talking about handyman stuff. That's not what they do. And here's the other thing. This is a fully licensed and insured company. They don't go to pick up a couple of dudes over at, Gansito Lumber, and then they go out to your house. No, folks, okay? They've got professionals, and they do it all. Whether you want to build an entire second floor to your house, you want to build a deck on top of your roof, maybe you want to build an extra room, maybe you want to build a game room, maybe you want to redesign the entire kitchen and modernize it. They can do all of those things. Get creative. Get crazy. They will meet you halfway and get it done. That's what you're going to love about Eric. And tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. 305-433-4843. That's the owner's cell number. You're going to call Eric right there. 305-433-4843. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. Fully insured. All right? Liability and everything. Workers' comp. So that way, if anything happens to somebody at work doing a job at your home, you will not get sued. Be careful who you hire, because if they're not fully insured, they can sue you if they get injured at your home. So call EJD Construction. Call Eric right now. Eric Colon. Tell him that Big O sent you. 305-433-4843. Of two minds on Ross. One, yes, he is terrible as a football owner. Two, yet he is not sucking the taxpayers dry like some of these other owners. Hopefully this is a lesson learned. Neither is Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu. They're not costing us a penny. Since they've taken over, they've paid for the team. They are now building their own practice arena and everything else over at War Memorial, spending their own money, and they don't get caught up in stupid shit. So I disagree with you, Leon. I am not going to justify one thing because they happen to do the other. Your job as an owner is to be a good owner, spend, to try to win, and try to not get your team in trouble. So I get it. Bruce Sherman's doesn't spend. So I understand that, but he also doesn't get anything done. So he's not a good owner in any way, shape, or form. Mickey Harrison spends, wins, maybe he could spend a little bit more, but okay, whatever. But he wins at least. Doesn't get his team in a bunch of trouble either. So I don't know. I'm not, there's no breaks here, man. What Stephen Ross did is unforgivable, So Rick says LPGA is funded by the Saudis. Why the bias? They are not being admonished. Tiger doesn't need the money and is free to do as he decides. No criticism. Well, that's fine. But if I have no idea if the LPGA is funded by the Saudis. If it is, well, that's sad too. That's pathetic. Those aren't people that deserve our sympathy. They don't deserve any breaks whatsoever. What they did to us was something that will last a lifetime. They were part of this. So I disagree with you, my brother. As Americans, I don't think we should back anything Saudi related like that. I just don't. I don't think that we should do anything that's going to make them more money and put them in a good light too. That's just wrong on every level, but whatever, man. It is what it is. What are you going to do? I barely watch any of that anyway. So as a sport, unless I go live, I rarely watch golf. I'm not that guy. Oh, I haven't watched 1 second of the Live tournament. Not 1 second. What is it, online? I think it is, right? Not 1 second have I watched that. No interest at all. Does nothing for me. As I said before, where are their historic courses? What's their history? So why would I want to watch? See what I mean? At least I know with Augusta, it's Augusta. There's a history. There's a track record. There's a lineage. It's all kinds of stuff that we can go back and look at it. You know what I mean? Live Tournament has zero history. And it's run by a foul group. Big O, as a fan from 71, does the new coach feel like the new Shula, especially after hearing Larry's comments on this new team? No, not at all. There's nothing like Shula. I disagree with Larry Zonk on that one. Would you like me to tell you something? I just think it's an older guy that's kind of reminiscent and hoping and reaching with his comparisons. There is zero comparison with Mike McDaniel and Don Shula. Zero comparisons. I thought it was a horrible comparison by Larry Zonka. Okay? I can tell you that. And Larry's not around here, dude. He just showed up the other day for a couple minutes and left. Please, give me a break. Watch Mike McDaniel in press conferences. There's nothing to compare to Shula. Zero. Two completely different people. Two completely different ways of doing things. And football was completely different in those days than what it is now. That's the only thing that Zonka got right in his comparison. But the comparison of Mike McDaniel to Don Shula, it's ridiculous. Silly. You're better off comparing Pat Riley to Shula. Mike McDaniel. No. That made zero sense whatsoever. McDaniel doesn't even have a single game under his belt. Well, that has nothing to do with the comparisons. It's just the personalities, the way he carries himself compared to Shula, the way he handles things compared to Shula. There's no comparison. Nothing. The only comparison is that they both coach for the Dolphins and they're both head coaches. That's it. There's no other comparison between Shula and Mike McDaniel. There's no stare and jaw from McDaniel. I don't think he has a stare that's going to necessarily, scare the living crap out of you. So, yeah, it was an asinine comparison. It's just, an older guy reminiscing and reaching for something to tell the media. You know what I mean? But it made zero sense whatsoever. Don't think Zonka was comparing McDaniel to Shula. I think he was comparing the situation that Shula came. Yeah, it's not even close either. It's not even close. None of it. There is zero comparisons to the changeover from George Wilson to Shula or from Flo to McDaniel. There's zero comparisons on the way this team was built and that team was built. I mean, this team not only draft, but they spent a lot in free agency and trades and things like that. It is totally different. You know what I mean? Paul Warfield is, while he's a phenomenal receiver, he's completely different than Tyreek. This offense will be completely different than what Shula was running with those guys back in the day. There's no comparisons, nothing. Not the coaches, not the situations, nothing. It was Zonk being nostalgic and reaching for something and making a absolutely horrible comparison. I get it, man. Some of you don't. Oh, my God, it's blasphemous. He said that about Zonk. We love Zonk. We all say things that are off. That was completely off. That's all. Zero comparisons. Nothing whatsoever. Oh, do you think Belichick gets the all-time record? How many games is he away exactly? Do we know? Can you tell me, Sean? I see you already reaching for the phone. Thank you, sir. You can say that both are player coaches. Don Shula is not a player's coach. Sorry. Like I said, there's no comparisons whatsoever. Situations, teams, eras, coaches, nothing. Zero. I thought Flores was the next Shula. I should have bought that cheap swampland in Arizona instead. Hey, we all like the beginning of Flores, bro. Perfect cue. I like the beginning of Adam Gase too. You know what I mean? It wasn't like Adam Gase was my guy or anything, but when they hired him, it looked like it made sense, right? With the whole Peyton Manning crap, and that offense was explosive that year. And his first year, I bought into it. Hook, line, and sinker. It happens to all of us. But then as time goes on, you figure out, is it real or is it Memorex? That's all. We all get suckered, man. We all go through the same thing. Are you showing me something there? I can't see anything. Wait a minute. Did you send me a text? Okay. Or just tell me on the damn audio if you want. Ask Mercury Morris, he says. Oh, 298 to 398. So he's 108 away. Is that true, Sean? Is it 108? That he's got 290, Shula's got 398? I can't see that paper at all, dude. 336. Okay. All right, 336, not 398 to 290. Oh, so yeah, he needs a few years. I hope he doesn't get it. I hope this whole thing blows up on him now and only wins a couple games for a couple years. And then the old man says, yeah, Bill, it was a great run while it lasted. Thank you. Have a great life. See you later. Giovanni says both coach the Finns in the late 30s. Both are men. Both have 2 legs, 2 arms, 10 fingers. That's it. Giovanni, you got the exact comparison. That's about it. Jose goes, you're correct. Not even the uniforms and logo. You can't even compare that. So the Dolphins lost their 2023 first. That's not fair. It's all on the owner. Don't punish the team. I know, Zach. We've heard that line several times today, my man. I'm so sorry. Sucks. It's not our fault. Yet we're the ones that suffer through all this crap, right? The Cam Cameron stuff, the Tony Sperano, rest in peace. I'm sorry, my man, but it was a disaster. You know, the Adam Gase. We're the ones that suffer through all this. You know, Dave Wanstead running his fingers through his hair. Dave was such a good dude, man. That's one guy that I was hoping he would succeed because he was a good person, man. Not a great coach, but he was a good person. Good defensive coordinator. And that's probably where, you know, it's probably where he should have peaked, is there. All right, folks, we are going to wrap it up here on the show. We thank Manny Navarro and we thank Cameron Wolf. Tomorrow we will start at 8:45 in the morning. From 9 to 10, we will have Inside the Paint, the redrecover.com Inside the Paint show. Ira Winderman and Kurt Heelan from Pro Basketball Talk. Kurt is the new co-host with Ira. So we got a national guy with our guy and Ira. So you're going to get the best of both worlds. I think it's going to be a nice combination between those two guys. And then we're back at 10 o'clock, rocking and rolling for a few hours. We will be out at camp. Sean and I will go out on Friday and Saturday. Well, Sean will be at camp tomorrow, actually, and not Thursday, right? Thursday they're off, I think. So Sean will be here with me. Actually, we'll be at Hialeah Park. All right. So appreciate all of you out there as always. Thank you for tuning in. And if you missed me ripping Ross and everything, you might want to go to the first hour to get your fill. It's all there. It's all juicy and it's all there. Several segments of ripping. Anyway, we will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.